Join in. It's kind of the spur of the moment thing here to do this last minute live stream. So reconnecting. Bad connection already. Unbelievable. Anyway, I'll sit here until you guys want to join in. And if you don't want to join in, well, we'll just cut it short. So I don't know what you guys are up to tonight, but if you're out and about near your computer, there we go. Palm Nation's in there. Weather wiener dissection. Oscar Mayer wiener. Actually, we had sausages for dinner last night. You know, we had for dinner tonight, we had tuna, ahi tuna, and scallops with Caesar salad. So 14, it's currently 11 degrees Celsius here. Right now, our high today was just over 13 degrees Celsius. It's actually, no, sorry, it's 13 degrees right now. It's not 11, it's 13. 13 degrees Celsius. So no frost at all in my forecast. Same here, no frost at all. Hopefully winter's done here. I don't see any cold in the long-range forecast. Bananas toast at 15 Fahrenheit, but they will come back. Domes dead, they'll come back. The average temperature in 22 years, 14. Yeah, I don't know what our average is. I never ever figure out our averages. I just look at our extreme minimum and our extreme maximum. That's what I do. I've never been one to really ever look at our averages. If I want our averages, I can just go to the Gulf Island forecast, the weather site, Environment Canada weather site. But minimum, I'm always interested in what the extreme minimum was and the extreme maximum was. You know, we're only up into the 90s. I think our high temperature this year was maybe around 89 or 90, something like that, this far north. And the lowest temperature I recorded was around 17.5, something like that, 17.6. It was minus 8 degrees, the lowest temperature I recorded. So cold, but not cold enough to damage anything in the garden. It didn't last long enough. We only had 4 days of freeze. So the freeze period here was 4 days, and then it was done. Thank God. I think it got colder in some places like maybe in Kansas, Missouri, and places like that. They had the cold go right down there, and it dropped down a little bit colder. The mid-August is suggesting this year is supposed to be very warm. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see our long range. I found a really good nursery in Alabama, which is an hour and a half east of here. Oh, wow. Cool. Hour and a half. That's not very far. Muscle Shoals, Alabama. That's not a very far drive, an hour and a half east. Wow, cool. Hey, they probably have palmettos there, and sable miner, and needle palms. Huge trachycarpus for sale there. I wonder how much they want for foot. Up here, they're over $100 a trunk foot. Can we talk about banana mutations? What would you like to know about banana mutations? Because I don't know much about banana mutations. You can talk whatever you want to here. Whatever subject you want to, you can talk here. If you want to say you hate Biden, you can even say that too. 6 foot for $450. That's cheap. That's actually really cheap. Wow. Okay. Up here, that cost you over $600. Probably cost you about $700. Here you can buy a 30-foot trachycarpus for 1,000 pounds. So yeah, that's 1,000 pounds. What is that? About $1,500 Canadian or something, or $1,200 Canadian? I don't know how much a pound is compared to Canadian dollar. I know the American dollar is worth a lot more, but I'm not too sure what a pound is worth compared to the Canadian dollar, because ours is worth crap right now. It's like, I think we're 24 cents on the dollar, something like that. 76 cents ours is worth. The Fortuna is supposed to be very silvery. Not really. You know which ones are is Winson, the ones with the 360 leaves. Those are more silvery underneath, and same with Manit. Is it Manit Pure? No, Princeps. Princeps are very silvery underneath. 1,600 Canadian for a 30-footer. Nice. That's actually a pretty good price. Wow. I wonder where they're grown from. Like, are they grown in like another part of Europe? They're not grown in England, are they? They're probably brought in from what, Spain or something like that, I bet. Some other part of Europe. My praying hands are normally 12. Some smaller brooding by any herd of dwarf praying hands. Change again, sting popping off the corn. Oh, so you're growing tropical stuff. Yeah, we don't grow those ones here. We only grow Musa baju. You know, and people grow Musella laciocarpa. There's some Palm Society guys that have Musa sycamensis. But praying hands are normally 12 feet tall, but Smaller plants now pruning at 5 foot. Anyone heard of dwarf praying hands? And will change against it. Wow. Never. No, I don't know much about praying hands. I really don't. That sounds like a cool banana, though. Sounds tropical. This is, I swear, looks. Maybe, oh, maybe it's a tequila. Maybe it's a tequila. That'd be kind of cool. Hey, you should buy one. There are lots of tracking car property here. Some seated, but most is imported from Europe. This year, some Washington CAB or sell seating. Cool. That's pretty awesome. Yeah. How did the bougainvilleas do during your cold snap in London? I'm curious. I mean, it varied in England, the cold temperatures. I read some cold reports, but those were in the inland areas of England. And then anywhere near the seashore wasn't that cold. We are 8B. 8B where, though? Domestead. Where are you located? What part of the U.S.? Or what part of Canada? They are fine here. They're fine. Cool. Right on. So it never got cold enough. It's like here, none of the palms got damaged. Everything in our garden's fine. You know what? I think our tree fern fronds are fine. I'm going to upload a video tomorrow morning of the tree fern. And usually when it gets below 20, they turn crispy brown. So where the tree fern, and I'm talking about crispy and then flop down. No, the tree fern fronds are still fine, but they're discolored, but they never got fried. Hardiness zones are worthless. Yeah, plants can't read zones. South Georgia. Oh, okay. So it's mild down there. South Georgia, like near Savannah, or I'm just trying to think. Yes, 10A doesn't mean a coconut will grow. That's right. 10A. Is London actually 10A? Is London actually zone 10A? I didn't think it was that high. Wow. I mean, I know the Scilly Isles are up there. I think Scilly Isles are 10, aren't they? They're yeah, 45 minutes north of. Oh wow. So you're way down there, man. You can grow lots of good stuff down there. I think you're probably more like zone 9 down there. All our hardy zone is something a smart ass with a pencil bigger may not what actually. That's right, too. I mean, like I say, plants can't read growing zones. I have plants in our garden that probably should have been defoliated a long time ago. They're fully fine in every winter. I look at our butylon tree. It's 15 feet tall. Been out there 21 years, 22 years now. 22 years. I planted in 2001. And spring of 2001, I think it was May 2001. And it's never lost a leaf. It's never flinched in the winter months. Even in the coldest times we've had, it's been same with the other one too. The other one I planted about 7 years ago. And it looks like a way more tender butylon, and it's still thriving out there. Nice and green. So, yeah, like I say, plants can't read zone maps. We can read zone maps, but, you know, like a zone 6 in Toronto is completely different than a zone 6 in Missouri. You're going to grow probably a Trachycarpus palm in zone 6B, Missouri, or zone 7, and in Toronto, you're not going to do that. For example, Central London is 9B, but there are 10 parts occasionally. Wow, crazy, mild. For example, 8A is totally different than 8, or you'll get away with more tropical plants in southern 8A. Yes, unless you go to Brookings, Oregon, of course, which is 9B or so, or maybe even close to 10. It's insane. The freeze was colder than most years. And this freeze, yeah. Yeah, because I've been out of the Oregon coast quite a few times, but Brookings is absolutely insane. That part of Oregon, it's like it's not even in Oregon anymore, but it is Oregon. It's kind of facing south. It's kind of facing southwest and sort of north instead of north-south. It's kind of cockeyed. That's why they call it the Brookings effect. And the stuff that grows in Brookings, Oregon, it will absolutely blow your mind. Here too, 7B10. We got it. We had 7B10. Yeah, like we got into 8B too, right? High end of 8B, and but everything did well. I mean, our plants here are designed for that anyway. What we grow here are mostly 8B and 9 plants, and like I say, it didn't get cold enough, long enough to damage anything. But if that cold stayed, if those cold temperatures were prolonged, then there'd probably be some damage on some of the plants, right? Lexington TN hit 6B, age massive southern fried. Yeah, but they'll come back. They'll come back. I don't think it would have killed them. They'll come back for sure. Pollination. Hey Joe, long since I've been in this California, Jimmy. Oh, California is the place to be. They packed up all their bags and they moved to Beverly. Remember the? Oh, you're too young to remember the Beverly Hillbillies. Everything grows in Southern California. Everything. I do lots of live streams on my other channel. I actually do more live streams on my other channel. I'm going to do one Tomorrow, listen to this. So a guy phoned me up the other day, one of the guys I used to work with, and they want to know how to remove some bamboo. And I said, where's the bamboo? And he told me where the bamboo is. I know the bamboo. It's giant Vivax. It's Vivax timber bamboo. And they want to get rid of it. So I says, you know what? I'll dig it out for you. So he says, be my guest. So tomorrow morning, I'm heading down with my Rootmatic, my shovel, and my truck, and I'm going to be digging out some free Vivax bamboo. And I'm going to be planting that here. And if I ever move, because Wendy keeps threatening buying a house somewhere else and moving. And so we'll have to take some bamboo with us. Did you know that the same latitude as Brookings? Did you know that at the same latitude as Brookings, Mediterranean Europe, winter's average is 15, summers are 29 with lows. Yeah, Brookings. But yeah, I wonder, I guess it's probably as mild as Brookings, eh? The thing is, Brookings too can reach 75 degrees on a winter day, which it has in January. December, it's reached some really high temperatures. They do get a lot of rain in Brookings, about 80 inches annually. I wish I'm in NorCal. Northern Cal is awesome. There's nothing wrong with Northern California. I've been into Crescent City. I've been all through California, up and down, around. I've been to Redding, Red Bluff, Northern California. I think if I lived in California, I like Northern California. Eureka, I really like the coast. I've seen it get mid 80s here winter, just last week. Yeah, and you guys can, because you're down that far south. I was talking to a guy in Missouri yesterday. Was I talking to him yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday, I think. And it was like 60 something degrees there, 65 or something. It gets warm down there. And you look at the growing zone, it's like 6B, 7, but it's the latitude, right? Barcelona is the same latitude as Brookings, and they have Royals, Bismarck. Yeah. Okay, there's Queen Palms in Brookings. There's King Palms in Brookings. I don't know if anybody's ever tried Bismarckia, but I can tell you one thing. I don't know if it would like all the winter wetness. Not too sure. But when I've been in Brookings in the summer, it was baking hot. I lived in Redding, but I'm farther south now. Small. Redding's nice. I love it. I love Redding, man. It's awesome. I actually went down to Redding when I was 17. Me and my buddy drove down there, and then we popped into Motel 6. I was 17, he was 19, and then we booked a hotel farther down in Red Bluff, and then we stayed down in Red Bluff, which was really nice. And then we continued our merry way to Southern California. The next morning, we drove down to we got there by the late afternoon or whatever. It was Los Angeles. It was a long drive, put it that way. 21 hours from Vancouver to get to Los Angeles if you drive straight. Bismarck is Kings. Yeah, I've never been to Barcelona. I bet you they could probably grow those in southern Italy too. Hyophobia, they grow bottle pond. You should feel a hot and humid winter day down south during tornado outbreak. Just really. Oh, well, hopefully you don't get any of those this year. We got a windstorm for us tonight, but I'm not hearing it out there right now. We have a wind where I had a cherimoya planted in 2000. Vortex killed it. Our baby blue bamboo died. Really? Well, you got the vortex, eh? I bet it's along Southern California. I bet it's Southern California is amazing. There's tall Washingtonias in Redding, California. You know that? Northern California, they can grow tall, huge Washingtonia palms. Even in Brookings, Oregon, there's big Washingtonia robusta palm trees. And date palms are all over. I saw Livistona, tons of Trachycarpus palms, big agaves everywhere. I saw citrus, Tibouchina. I saw a Tibouchina, a princess flower, which was pretty wild. I mean, you can go bougainvillea there. It's insane. It's an insane Pacific Northwest climate, that a lot of people don't really know about. And you have to go there to actually see it. And once I got to Brookings, it's like, holy crap, man, this place is insane. It's like I'm not in Oregon anymore when you're looking at a 50, 60 foot tall date palm. And then you're looking at these giant yucca giganteas that are, 15, 20 feet tall. And there's date palms all over the place. It's like so cool. And then I spotted Norfolk Island pines, beautiful Norfolk Island pines there. It's like such a nice climate, man. If I could live anywhere else in the Pacific Northwest, it would have to be Brookings, Oregon. According to the climate scientist, by 24 mangoes will be able to grow in central London. Wow. You think so? Hopefully the Gulf Stream doesn't change. I won't be alive then, so I'll never see that. I don't know. Will I be alive 2050 now? I'll be pretty old. All the plants here is Washingtonia, but not much variety. Oh, Washingtonia. Well, Washingtonia are nice. You can grow Flipper there. You can grow Robusta. You could grow Phoenix Canariensis there. You could grow Sable Palmetto there, even though Sable Palmetto is something you don't really see much in California. They really like the high humidity. And Southern California doesn't get a lot of high humidity. Yeah, 2050. Don't tell Justin Trudeau that. He's all into that climate change stuff. 2050, that's only, is that 17 years away? Oh my God. 17 years. No. That's, is it 17 years away? Am I doing my math wrong? I'm doing my math wrong. That's 27 years away. Sorry, 27 years away. Island of Mainau in Germany has Tibucina. Yeah, but they bring them in the wintertime. They would be dead. I know lots about Mainau and Lake Constance, and I actually have seeds from Germany palm trees growing in our garden. So Mainau, there's lots of Trachycarpus palms, and they have big date palms, and they have Tibucina, but a lot of those things are in big planters, and they wheel them in. There are some Trachycarpus palms in the ground there in Mainau, Lake Constance. I have seen a sable palmetto in Sacramento. I don't recall seeing. I'm always looking for different palms when I was in California, and I'm just trying to think, did I see any sable? I don't know if I saw any sable palmetto. I saw what I believe was a coconut, 27 years tall. It was tall, as good as Florida. That's pretty cool, man. So they do work there. Palm Nation, I recently proved how flawed it is down my areas all on the ground. We both know cold air drains into that. Yep, low areas, just like the ravine on our property. Cold air drains down into those low areas. Cold air is like water, and it rolls down those slopes, and it sits into the low areas, right? So it's better to garden on the side of a slope than it is down here. So you can be up here, probably right about there would be a good spot. We're kind of up on top. We're about right here, but our property goes a little bit higher, but so we're here and our property goes maybe about that much higher. So we're gardening about here. And then we got the ravine way down here. And you can see it's colder down there. On a cold day, there'll be no frost up here. There'll be frost down there, though. They have Canary Island date palms in some of cities in northern Germany. I wonder if they're actually in the ground, though. That I'd like to see. I know people do grow them there and they wrap them up. It's like the guys in Bulgaria with Phoenix canariensis. Apparently, the trouble with sables is if we were in the northern part of the states just because of growth rate with sables is they are on the beach. Oh, interesting. Okay. In the ground. That I want to see. Post some pictures. I want to see that. Send me a picture of some in the ground. I know there's Trachycarpus palms there. I've seen even Jubea in Germany. I'm surprised because Germany can get pretty cold too. It can get pretty cold in Germany, right? When they do have a good cold snap. It's pretty amazing. I wonder how big they are. There's actually big in France too. In Normandy, there's huge Jubea chilensis too. Been around before the war. They got the trunks on them are pitted with war wounds, right? And it can get cold in Normandy, really cold. That I have to see. I want to see some date palms in Germany. Post those in my group. Let other people see those palm trees. I was just watching a video of Lugano, Switzerland, and Locarno. Totally awesome, man. Anyway, it'll be interesting to see how our date palms fared this year. I'm not going to look at them till spring. Like I say, I got the bucket over one, and I got the other one covered up too. So no artificial heat. And last year, the one made it through the 1 week cold snap in late December. 2021. I was very surprised when I lifted that nursery bucket off and that thing was still alive. I thought for sure that date palm would be dead. So if it survived the 2021 cold snap, that was a longer cold snap, then it should survive this cold snap because it was only 4-day cold snap. That's the cold snap that killed the Parajubea we had in the ground. But no worries. I do have another Parajubea in the greenhouse along with the Ceroxylon in there too. So, and it looks like the Rapilostylus apida, the shaving brush palm, is doing pretty good too. But I only see one left. I don't know where the other one went. I know I've had problems with mice in there, and I got trap set because they were eating a lot of palm seedlings when they built the west Tennessee, they started in the floodplains because horrible microclimate, the warmest parts are in the hills. Yes. How about the Smoky Hills? How about the Smoky Mountains? I got a friend that lives up in, he calls it the Smoky Hills. Smoky Hills, I guess it's probably east of Manchester. My Dallas lives in Manchester, Tennessee. I think that's kind of middle Tennessee, Manchester, Tennessee. It probably can get pretty cold there at times. I don't know how far Manchester is from Nashville or what's the other place in Tennessee? Nashville or it's on the tip of my tongue. Where Elvis lives, Memphis, right? Memphis. Yeah, cool, interesting. I'm sure there's some pretty big needle palms around there, though. I said, man, he should grow some palm. Memphis. I told Dallas he's got to grow some palm trees in this garden. Needle palms and sable minor. Middle Tennessee is the high. It's horrible there. You won't grow chunky. No, but you could grow sable minor, and I told him to try sable minor and needle palms. To catch your. Oh, thanks for joining in there, Palm Planet. Hey, I thought you were down in Cabo San Lucas. Memphis is Is it a bad microclimate? I'm sure there's some palms there. There's got to be palms in Memphis. I bet you there are some trackies there. What do you think? Trachycarpus palms? How about sable minors? There's got to be some in Memphis. I'm sure I've seen pictures of sable minors and needle palms there, but it's got to be a trachycarpus or two maybe hiding around a building or something, right? Sure there is. I'm sure we could find one if we drove through Memphis. Yeah, they're harvested sable seeds there last month. See, there you go. So sable minor seeds, right? Be a good spot for sable minor. They get lots of heat down there. So, I mean, yeah, you got to love the sable minor palms. They should try sable Birmingham there. That's what they need to try. Sable Birmingham, sable Cossierum. Those are the ones they need to try there in Memphis. They'd probably work well. Got to get there and throw some seed around Elvis's Graceland. Is that in Memphis? Elvis's place, Graceland. Throw some seed next time you go there. Throw a bunch of seed in the front of his place. There are big trackies and big trunking sables in Knoxville. Oh, there is, eh? And Chattanooga, Tennessee. Okay, interesting. Okay, Palm Planet, cool. Big trackies and big trunking sables. Very cool. Sable Cossierum is a nice palm. We have a small one in our garden. It's doing very well. Yes, Memfrica. I want sable Cossierum. Yeah, I happened to get one from a friend of mine years ago, so I got back from Cabo San a few days. Yeah, I've never been that far down the Baja. I've only been down to Ensenada. Drove down there, and it was pretty palmy there too, but Cabo is tropical. You went where it's tropical, and I mean, Sammy Hager's got a restaurant down there called Cabo Wabo, a nightclub, right? Cabo Wabo. Planet. I hate to break it to you, but the trunking track no is it really? Are you sure? Palm Planet, have you been there? I don't know. I've never been there, so I don't know. I've seen pictures on the internet of palms in Tennessee, and I know there was a guy with a big sable palm somewhere in Tennessee, and one of the videos he has, it was years ago, he was actually shaking the snow, brushing the snow off of his sable palm. And I don't know if it was in Memphis or Nashville. Does it? Palm Nation. I don't know how cold Knoxville gets. I don't even know. I'd have to look. I mean, I've talked there lots of times. Knoxville, is it the center of the state? I don't know. I'm not too sure exactly where it is located in Tennessee. Is it down south? Is it more northern state? Is it west? Is it east? That guy was in Chattanooga. That is an old video. Chattanooga. That's the one. So I wonder if that palm tree is still alive, Jimmy. What do you think? Give us the dirt. Sable palmetto. Knoxville is in East Tennessee. I watched it. Yeah, I watched it it's probably 10 years old, that video, Jimmy. So I wonder if that palm is still alive, because it was a big sable palmetto. It's kind of like the guy that said, palm trees grow in Michigan. And about 10, 11 years ago, the guy put out a video of these Trachycarpus palms in Michigan, and they did not look good. I would say one more winter, they would be dead. So I've never seen any updates on them. Yeah, definitely marginal there, but Google, there's a good size trachy at the entrance. Oh, really? Cool. Oh, there is a Bulgarian. Wow. He confirmed that. Oh, it died. Oh, that's sad. Oh, it was a nice palmetto too. Like, it was a big palmetto. I think James is, James Palms in, he lives in Toronto or somewhere near there. I think his palmetto might have died too. Probably not a lot of palms in Tennessee after last winter they've had. out east. I don't know. I don't know how cold it got in Tennessee, but I think it varies in different parts of the states, just like it does in many states in the Midwest. Tennessee South, of course, not in the Midwest, but it just varies, I guess, depending on. Look, it's like here too. You know what I mean? Like, oh, like out in the mainland, they got hammered with cold. They got way more cold than we got. I couldn't believe it. Outflow winds, -13, -14. And nothing like that here out in the islands. Probably not. USA, that sucks. Yeah, that's too bad. But yeah, it does vary on location and even location within your neighborhood. It's amazing. Or if you're around in a big city, you're going to get the urban heat, so you're going to get some extra warmth if you're got palms growing around a city, as opposed to if you're out in the country 20 miles away from the city. Like, so Vancouver's got the urban heat, lots of palm trees in Vancouver. There's no doubt about that. There's palm trees all over Vancouver. But you go 25 miles southeast of Vancouver out into the Fraser Valley, and it gets freaking battered with. Well, there's palms there, but they get beat up sometimes. Someone posted on Palm Talk, lots of huge trunking trackies north of Nashville near Kentucky. No way. What? Posted on Palm Talk. Really? 30 feet. Holy crikey. Doesn't it was stupid. There, you can't even go see them in Knoxville. It doesn't. It was really, but there's 30 footers. It's annoying, even though Bermuda is a British. You can't order palms because import laws, right? Get Sable Bermudana. Does it really get that cold there? God, all I know. Yes, check it out. There is a whole thread. Nashville area palms, tons of trackies, and north. Really, I want to see those. Hey, post some pictures if you could. Post some pictures in the group. People who love palm trees. James Palm's big trunky sable miner died, or sable, sable palmetto died. Power failure. That's what it is. And that's what I always say. These guys that are in really cold climates, when they box in their palms, what happens if the power fails on the coldest night? They're sleeping and their power goes off. They're screwed, man. USA, it's all documented. I will post the link. Okay, I want to see it. The polar vortex burnt the tips on the pindos. Yeah, my little pindo palm that lost its center spear. It's still green. Nothing's come out of the middle, though. But, there's two big pindo palms growing on Salt Spring. One of them looks flawless, and the other one's definitely got burnt fronds on it from last year. I don't even know if it's still alive. I have to go down there and check sometime. Maybe I got to dig out bamboo tomorrow. Maybe Saturday, if I have time, I'll go down there and I'll see the palm garden and just see how the other boutique is going. And when I saw it last time, it looked pretty fried up from the December 2021 freeze, but the other one was fine. The one growing nearer to the water. It's all Palm Planet Nashville area palms all died 2 weeks ago. They got destroyed. 2 or 3 months. Oh, that's too bad. That's too bad. I hope they didn't. I hope there's some still alive there. I never see pindo palms here, I think. And pindo palms will grow really good there, Jimmy. They will grow very, very well where you are. You know what? Nurseries must have pindo palms down there. Hey, you know what? There used to be a good nursery, and I still have the catalog, I think. See if they're still there. It's called Neon Palm Nursery, California. It's in Coastal California. I think it could be Santa Rosa. Anyway, Neon Palm Nursery. They had a really good catalog full of super cool palms, and they'd probably ship to you. The only long-term trunky palms, U.S. corridor, are. I never see pindo palms. I want to see, if they're still around. I mean, post some pictures. I'd like to see that. I hope they're not dead. That would really suck. It sucks when you grow something out really big and it freezes. Yeah, Neon Palm Nursery. Oh, here's another one for you in California. Jungle Music is that's Phil Bergman. Phil Bergman in Westminster. Spell that right. Westminster, Cal. Try out Jungle Music. Jungle Music has some pretty good palms. Oh, you can grow tons of stuff where you are. Nashville hit -1, -18 code. Yeah, but it wouldn't kill needle palms, and it wouldn't kill so it wouldn't kill Rhopidophyllum hystrix, and it wouldn't kill Sable minor. Yeah. A guy in Nashville had been posting on Facebook. His palmetto there is unprotected and survived. Truckies got fried, but will survive. Yeah, they'll recover fast there in Tennessee with the heat. Ours are growing right now like crazy. Did I shoot one? I think I shot a video on Wendy's channel this morning. Yeah, I shot a video. You can see the palm growth. They're all growing here like crazy, the trackies. And I looked at the sable today, and it looks like, well, anyway, watch the videos tomorrow morning. Sable at Grace Point. I went there after work and I shot a video. Yeah, I had a jackfruit under the pindo and it died back to the trunk. Should recover. Wow, you grew jackfruit where you are. Holy crikey. That will never work here, man. That's tropical. No tropical plants will work. The most tropical thing we're going to grow here are Musabaju bananas, and they're going to get nuked pretty much every winter. I have seen them where they've made it through till spring, but not often. Maybe 2 or 3 times. Check these out, Joe. Very impressive. Okay, palm talk. Okay. I'm going to do that. Palm talk. Or I'll have to check out those pictures. Cool. You should try Kwai muck. What's Kwai muck? There are no surviving trunking palms up there. I remember be like 30 newly planted. 30-foot trackies in Jackson. Holy cow. 30 footers. Jeepers. That's like 30. That's a lot of palms. That's an expensive planting, man. Jackfruit relative. Wow. I like to grow papaya if I could. I've grown them from seed, but they don't work here. 30-foot, 30, and that's like freaking $30,000 worth of palm trees right there. 100% of them were killed. Oh, that is sad, man. That would make any palm grower cry. That sucks to lose tall palms like that. I wonder if they were actually dead. Like, some people are just too quick to remove them. Like, in Dallas last year, remember, not last year, but the year before, they had that really bad freeze. And I think they just prematurely removed too many palm trees. They should have just left them. And I bet you a lot of them would have recovered. We get frost every winter, dude. Oh, tender stuff. We get frost every winter, dude. Oh, okay. So you do get frost, but you are zone 9B, so you can still grow. It doesn't get cold enough to kill a lot of really marginal stuff. Takes cold better. Okay, cool. There are some 30-footers as Henderson were planted babies. And that's okay. And that's what the thread said. Interesting. 30-footers. Sheet. That's a lot of, that's big. Those are tall palms. Extended the mandate. What? No way. Really? I can't even go to Maui. I can't go there. It kind of sucks right now. There's literally only 4 countries and counties in Tennessee where there's trunking long-term survive. McNary, Hamilton. Yeah, because you're close to Mississippi, I think, too. I wish the council here would spend $30,000 on. Oh, could you imagine? That'd be cool. Well, we don't have any council here. See, where I live, there's no mayor, there's no council. We're unincorporated. I live on an island that's unincorporated, so that's why I can just plant palms wherever I want in town, and nobody's going to stop me. You see, I just do it. I don't even ask. I just do it. And I remember one time I was I'm kind of like a guerrilla planter, and I've been doing that here since the 1980s. And I remember planting a palm. I was going to plant a palm in one spot, and I had the palm and the shovel. And the guy comes out that owned the store, and he says, "What are you doing, Joe?" I says, "I think that's a nice spot for a palm tree there. There's a super ugly little bush there." He says, "No, I don't want a palm tree there." I says, "Okay, fine." So you know what I did? I planted it somewhere else. I planted it somewhere else in town. And it's getting big now. It's really big. It's full of seeds. It was going to expire Jan 8th, but they extended. I hate Biden, man. He sucks. He's as bad as the idiot that runs our country, ruins our country. Doing good, Palm. Okay, just a minute. Did you say there's no mayor? Nope. You can do whatever you want, man. Yep, you can do whatever you want here on Salt Spring Island. There's no parking meters. There's no parking tickets. There's people that camp in town for months, park your vehicle on the side of the road and just frickin' camp. So found a photo the other day of a 50-foot palm tree, Isle of Wight. There's some nice palms on the Isle of Wight. I looked at videos of palm trees in the Isle of Wight. There's Washingtonias and date palms there too. You'll leave these days skeptical of every palm post that you learn one day. Can you still do online shopping? Yep. Oh yeah, I do online shopping in Amazon. I got something coming right now. Another minimum max thermometer. How are you all doing? How are you doing? Go to Salt Spring. Yeah. Yeah, if you like taking a ferry, the only way here is ferry. The only way off and on to this island is ferry. There's no fast food. There's no box stores here. So you might get island fever. And somebody says, Joe, your camera, this is what I shoot my videos on, okay? And he says, somebody said the audio is terrible. Well, because the camera, this microphone in here is shot. I dropped it and it did something to the microphone in that camera. That's how I shoot my videos. I'm old school. But there's no camera stores on Salt Spring Island. I have to go to the big island, which is Vancouver Island. And I don't know when the next time I'm going over there. We have to take a ferry over there. Wendy's seriously talking about moving. Like she keeps talking about, we should put our house for sale and move to Vancouver Island. God, it'd be tough to leave this garden behind. I'd have to start a new one. Wait, I thought you had a no. There's no. Those are Vancouver Island. There's no A&W on Salt Spring Island. Not allowed to have any fast food on Salt Spring Island. Never permitted here. Not permitted. No box stores are permitted and no fast food. That A&W is in Duncan. The Robin Hill County Park has big Washingtonia robusta on the Isle of Wight. Most of them. Wow, cool. Yeah, I've seen videos of Isle of Wight. It's pretty awesome. The second a place has large supermarket opens the door for. Yeah, they're not permitted here. And you know what? Blockbuster Video came in one time, and it lasted about maybe 2 years, and people boycotted it, and it expired. It lost business, and they left. So that was the only big thing I ever saw here was a Blockbuster Video, and I was actually shocked to frickin' see it. And then it faded away, man. And now it's part of the store where I work. Yeah, it's actually a liquor store now. That's what it is. Bro, I hate to wait it to you, but they're but you buy 30. I discourage it because those were grown in South and they have. Oh yeah, that's the problem. And even I see these palms that people plant in Toronto and stuff, super skinny trunks, and I know a lot of those were imported from Florida, somewhere down there, right? And they're not that hardy. If you can get palms from the coaster, they're going to be hardier. Or Washington robusta, the palms you see all over. Yes, they are. They're sky duster palms. They grow to over 100 feet tall. There's also Washingtonia flifera or something. Yeah, and there's flifera too. Yeah, sorry, they're there in California. That's the only native palm to California. They turned it into a liquor store, and it's a huge liquor store, partially owned by the same guy that owns the store where I work. It's called Uptown Liquor Store. You mean they sell 30 footers? That must 30 footers, super skinny trunks, Florida grown. Yep, exactly. So I look at the ones even that people import, in southern Ontario and stuff. There's a guy that sells them, and they got really skinny trunks. You should see the trunks on some of the palms up here. They're thick. They are so freaking fat. They look like they're on steroids. You don't see skinny trunks here unless they're super old palm trees, because super old Trachycarpus palm trees usually get really skinny at the base and they lose fiber for quite a few feet up the trunk. So the really old palm trees on our coast that were planted, in the 40s and 50s and 60s, then you see the skinny trunk at the bottom, but they're quite still thick at top, like a light bulb. They're shaped like a light bulb. They go like this, and then they go fatter at top. Arizona grows some palms for California also. They have field-grown palms. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, so it's better to avoid Florida-grown palm trees if you live in a northern climate. You're better to get them. I mean, get them from Pacific Northwest if you can, or somewhere north along the Atlantic coast. Yes, I do know a nursery in Memphis that sells them. I wouldn't pay $5, so they're like really cheap, eh? Brahia armata is native within 8 miles of California border, but not technically native. 8 miles, really? In Baja, yeah, we have a Brahia armata in our garden. Still okay, looks good. One died last year, 2021 December, the small one. It froze down beside the Jubea, but the other one in the upper garden's doing fine. Yeah, so nice palm. Apparently the date palm in Brahia is doing very well over in Tofino too. Do you know what the other common style of palm is called? Looks like, yeah, it's Canary Island date palm, and there's also Phoenix dactylifera, the edible date palm, right? That's what happens when they speed grow plants ship across the country. Yeah, it's kind of like forcing flowers in a pot and in a greenhouse. A lot of them near lots near. When we stayed at Disneyland, we were there for a week with the kids. The whole street was lined with date palms. I got a good video. I actually got some good YouTube videos because my kid was skateboarding, and you can see all the palm trees around us. The nursery I found in Muscle Shoals, Alba, is legit hardy trachycarpus. Oh, you did buy some, eh? Hey, do they have? You know what you should try? Sereno repens. That's what you got to try. Sereno repens. Austin, my friend Austin in Arkansas has one growing, and it survived the cold and last year too. I wonder what art is in London wash seed would be. Oh yeah, like to try some of that. Who knows? Maybe a bird will one day bring a border armada native. You never know. Could do that. Bird could do that. Palm Planet. That's where the Tennessee long-term care came from. But that's where the Tennessee long-term trackies came from. Wow, cool. I hate sop. Do you hate Sopometo? God, I love them. I think they're beautiful. I've tried. I remember imported one from Jungle Music back in the 80s, and yeah, I was at my last location and it froze first winter. No, I like. There's a silver Sopometo too, which is quite nice. Is that video on YouTube? I think the street's called. We stayed in Anaheim. We were in Anaheim, and the street was lined with date palms. And actually, there was one street, it was lined with trachycarpus palms. And you know what? I don't know where my photos of that, but I did take pictures of it. I love Sopometo. I got one from Pungo. Oh, Pungo in Virginia Beach. Yeah, they're pretty hardy plant. Sereno repens. Nanoropes, too. They're a nice palm, but hard to get. Seem decently hardy in Zone 7. Wow. Yeah, I think a Southern Zone 7. Sereno repens will never ever survive this far north. It may survive here on Salt Spring, but it'll never survive in a Zone 7 in the north. I'd give it 10 years, and I bet Washington was self-making a mess. I hope so. That'd be cool. In England, self-seeded Washingtonias. I got nanoropes from Pungo palms. They had whoa. Yeah, see, you can't find them in a nursery up here, man. You're not going to find any nanoropes. So that's another one I imported, and it died also the first winter when I was in Zone 8A, 8B. It came from Jungle Music down at Phil Bergman's place through the Palm Society. We imported a lot of stuff back then, and yeah, I should not have planted them out, but I didn't learn my lesson. I used to experiment with a lot of palms back then. I was a palm sadist. So I'd put this out and that out, and some made it, some didn't. Vancouver and the islands better zone. Oh, Vancouver, man, there's lots of palm trees. Dude, the streets are lined with palm trees in Vancouver. Everywhere. I watch my videos I have here, and even the suburbs, even 20 miles you go south of Vancouver, and there's towns that the streets are just lined with trachycarpus palms, big ones too, all around the stores. It's unbelievable. It's like, yeah, English Bay, but no more than just English Bay. English Bay, there's tons, but even the side streets, there's palm trees too in Vancouver. Stanley Park. I don't know what Sopometo prefer, cool, dry, or wet, because they're no Sopometo. Sopometo likes it humid and hot because they're native to the Florida, and they're native to Alabama. I don't know if they're in South Carolina, right? I don't know what Sopometo per cool, dry, wet, because they're native to the desert. That gets no. They're not native to the desert. Sopometo are native to not desert areas. They like it hot and humid. Oh, nanoropes, right? They're native to Afghanistan. Dry. They want dry conditions. I saw a lot of palms in Langford. Oh, tons of palm trees. I got lots of videos of Langford. We take our dog to Langford every 6 weeks to get groomed. So I drive through the town of Goldstream there, and the street is just, there's palm trees from one end to the other, big camarops. I just was recently there just before the big cold snap, and there was snow when I was there. I think there was a little bit of snow, and I got some video footage of. I got lots of videos of those palms there. The mayor's responsible for that. You'd be amazed at how many people have no idea you don't have to dig elephant ears up in winter down here. People used to grow those here a lot. The deer eat them, though. I've tried them. The deer just freaking devour them. You have to put them behind a fence. Good drainage they want here. I have a silver saw seedling. Cool. Palm tree, dude. Silver saw seedling. I've grown a bunch of those from seed. Oh, actually, a lot of them from seed. Is the Niagara region best growing conditions in Canada east of BC? Yeah, because they call that the banana belt of Canada. They get lots of heat, so they grow commercial tobacco down there. Lots of vineyards. I think it's zone. I think it's zone 6B or something down there. Some the guys that live there say it's zone 7. I don't know. What area do you think is the most palms in all of BC? Uh, I would say Vancouver and Victoria, Nanaimo too. There's lots of palm trees in Nanaimo. You know, there's palm trees all the way up Vancouver Island. When I was driving up there in July, man, they're way far north of here. Man, there's palm trees, 120 miles north of here. Big ones too. Palm, probably Point Pelee and Pelee Islands. Yeah, maybe, yes. South of Windsor, right? Is BC like Washington? Same thing, coastal. Yeah, so all that we have desert, we have and then rainforest and all that. It doesn't look any different. I mean, our islands are just off the coast of Washington State. Where I live is just straight off the coast of Washington State. So if I went across the water, Jim, I would be in Birch Bay, Washington. On the south end of Salt Spring, they'd be in Bellingham, Washington. And like I said, there's ferry that goes from Seattle to Victoria, the Victoria Clipper, and then there's ferry that goes from Swartz Bay, which is Sydney, just south of Salt Spring on Vancouver Island, and goes to the San Juan Islands in Anacortes. Then there's another ferry in Victoria that goes from Victoria to Port Angeles. It's not very far to the U.S. from here. Are there any palms in? Not that I know of. There might be some sable miners. People might be growing them, but I got a friend that up there that he used to grow some big palms down when he lived southeast of Vancouver, and he just recently moved up there a couple of years ago. So he may be growing sable miner. Palm Nation. That's the thing you couldn't grow a single unprotected in that part of Ontario, whether it's no, that's true. You can't. That's true. You cannot grow a palm tree unprotected in any part of Canada east of here. That's just the way it is. And I know some people in Ontario get mad at me and they say, well, I'm not. It's the fact. It's like the guy in Nova Scotia says they grow the best palm trees in all of Canada in Nova Scotia. Show me the pictures of your palm trees. I've not seen any proof. I've not seen any videos. The guy has a YouTube channel with zero content. So I want to see your palm trees in Nova Scotia. You know what? I have a lot of friends in Nova Scotia. I have friends that moved there from this island to Nova Scotia. I haven't seen any palms. They said, don't see any palms looking around. I planted palms in her garden. She knows what palms look like, right? And the palms are still there. I got my buddy Phil, my best friend Phil, his brother moved to Clark's Harbor, Nova Scotia from the coast. He grew palm trees here, and he's tried trackies in probably the mildest area of Nova Scotia on Cape Sable Island on the southern point of Nova Scotia. And guess what he says? They don't work. That's what he told me. He says they don't work here. They don't work without protection. They'll die. So this guy's telling me so he sends me a picture. He sent me a picture of all these palm trees, towering Trachycarpus palm trees. And I look in the background, I see this massive Camerops humilis. So right then I'm thinking this guy is full of crap. So I posted that picture in one of my groups, and somebody else said that's a photo taken from somewhere else. Could have been taken in Europe or Southern California or whatever, but it's not in Nova Scotia. The other people have seen the photo before. So he sent me a picture that wasn't even his photo of his garden. I was thinking, man, I hate bull crappers. Yeah, reverse. Yeah, I don't know. I've never used that. I don't know. And maybe that's what somebody did. And it's just like, I should try that sometime. That really chokes me. And this guy's actually messaged me several times on Facebook. And he's actually messaged me even on eBay. He sent me private messages on eBay. Are you that guy that says palm trees don't grow in Nova Scotia? I'd like to smack that guy up the head. Probably dumb question, but do you think you could grow saguaro cactus? Nah. It depends how cold-hearted they are. Okanagan is true desert. It is true desert, right? And there are lots of cactus there, and there's rattlesnakes and this and that. How cold-hardy is a saguaro cactus? 10 degrees Fahrenheit? I don't know. It can get colder than 10 degrees Fahrenheit there. That's the thing in a bad winter. Most winters, probably not. Maybe most winters it gets down to 10 degrees Fahrenheit. But a bad winter, I mean, it could probably get down to near minus 18, minus 20 in a really bad winter. Anyway, I've yet to see any palm trees that are live in Nova Scotia. Even the ones they boxed in at Dartmouth are dead. They died. It's hardy to like 8A from 8A. Okay, so I think 8A. Yeah, it's not 8A up there. I can tell you that. And you know what might work up there is Joshua Tree, though. Yucca brevifolia. There are some saguaro in Albuquerque, but yeah, in Albuquerque, there's some palms too. My cousin lives in Albuquerque. There are Washingtonia fliffer there. They grow in the hot desert. Hot desert. Yes, they do, Jimmy. Kyle, Nova Scotia is 6B at the best planted palms. No luck. No, they tried. Okay, so I know another guy in Nova Scotia. I've shipped tons of seed and palm seedlings to Nova Scotia. Okay, and I'm not stupid when it comes to the climate in Nova Scotia. I do a little research on that stuff too, because I'd like to see. Watch YouTube videos. Are we going to see any palms there? No, there are no palm trees that are not protected in Nova Scotia. About Joshua Tree, did you mean? No, not Nova Scotia, but I'm thinking the Okanagan. Okanagan, maybe. Huge 40-foot filifera in Albuquerque. Wow, see, that's cool. 40-foot filifera. That is pretty awesome. Yeah, I've seen some shorter, stockier ones. There's some big ones in Truth or Consequences, New Mexico too. I've actually had seed sent to me from there. I don't know if they were filibusta, and had them outside for a couple of years here, and they just kind of petered out. Too wet and cool in the wintertime. They don't like our winters here. Just too wet and cool. And there are some people back east that like to experiment with Washingtonia robusta, and James Palms has a pretty impressive one growing in his garden. You know the one I'm talking about. You've seen his videos. Pretty nice looking palm tree. I just, the sad part about it, there's going to come a time where it's going to be so big, it's going to be impossible to protect, right? That's the thing. Like Tom Kelly, I had a friend in St. Louis, Missouri. I don't even know if Tom is still alive, and his reached 45 to nearly 50 feet tall, and he had to let them all die. He used to scaffold them in, put plastic and heat, plastic over the scaffolding and heat. I think I'm done with considering zone pushing all the stick to trachycarp. Yeah, you know what? I'm like that too. I'm done zone pushing. I've done all that stuff. I've been growing this stuff long enough. I just want to grow hardy things I don't have to fuss over. Yes, I do have a couple of date palms in the ground. I'm pushing those. If they die, I will never put another date palm in the ground. We have lots of nice ones in big pots. I can haul them in the wintertime when it gets cold. The date palms in the ground we have are not so big. You will see in the spring again. I will unveil them, and either they'll be dead or they'll be alive. If they're dead, I'm not going to be shocked. If they are alive, I'm going to be more shocked. How long do palmettos survive on Salt Spring Island? Well, I have small sable palmettos in the garden, and they're fine. But they're small ones. Sable minor here are long term, and sable cossierum I know are long term, and the sable that growing at Grace Point, which some people say is rosy eye, but other people don't think it's rosy eye, that's long term. It's been there actually 1997, so it's actually 26 years now coming up. So there's actually a palmetto near Vancouver, and I have a video of it here, but I haven't seen it recently. My theory with Phoenix is that the big trunks are much more hardy. Oh yeah, absolutely, much more hardy is for sure. Video of robustas, CIDP, Camarops, more in Alamogordo. Yeah, Alamogordo palm planet. Palms are everywhere. That's pretty cool. New Mexico is a pretty cool state. I want to start an outdoor cactus garden, North Delta. Which would you recommend? Lots of punches. When you're at the nursery, you want the most cold hardy cactus. And remember, drainage is a key. So if you have a house with a nice big overhang that's facing southwest or west and you get lots of sunshine, the perfect microclimate for making a cactus garden. Watch my videos here on cactus. Just go to this channel and use the search engine on this channel and punch in cactus garden. And you'll see these cactus gardens that are under overhangs of houses, and they're just amazing. Some of them are out in the open too. So you can easily do it in Delta, not a problem. That's where my wife graduated from school in North Delta Senior Secondary. So she used to live in North Delta. My theory, Phoenix, yes, they're hardy when they're bigger, Cal. That is true. We have frost a lot more here compared to the southeast. 9B, that's interesting. But you probably don't get that cold, even though you get frost. Not just wet and dry north side, low altitude, you name it. Not just wet and dry. North, south, low altitude, high altitude, you name it. Yes. I love New Mexico. So beautiful. I've never been there, but like I say, my cousin lives there. My uncle went down there. He's passed away, but he loved it down there. He thought it was beautiful. Cocoa, my mix for cactus, 10%. Oh, is that right, eh? See, I just planted in the native soil here. We live on rocky soil. So be with all the desert scenery, plants, palms, and ancient ruins. There's ancient ruins there too. That's cool. Wow. Wendy may have been there. Wendy's been all over the US. So remember, Wendy used to live, my wife used to live in the US. She went to school there. She lived in North Dakota. Probably not the greatest state to live in. It's so freaking cold in the wintertime, but that's where Wendy lived, in North Dakota, right? Her dad taught at a college down there, so her and her sister lived there and went to school. And I don't think there's any palm trees in North Dakota. And there are palm trees definitely in Nova Scotia, but they would have to be protected in the wintertime. That's the thing. I don't think any palm tree could survive outside. Maybe a sable minor, maybe a needle palm, right? But not a trachycarpus. I don't think an arborescent palm will make it in Nova Scotia anywhere. And I think the highest growing zone in Nova Scotia on the mainland is 6B, maybe 7A, something like that. I use a thinner and sand and more gritty sand. Okay, interesting, Cal. When you said ancient ruins, you remind me of Bald Serpent Mound in Ohio. Google it, you don't. When you said ancient ruins, you reminded me. Mound called Serpent Mound, and I'll Google it. Really? Wow. I never heard about that one either. Very cool. Serpent Mound in the Buckeye State. Huh. What is that? What's that Serpent Mound? I'm curious. You got me curious. And I'm too lazy to Google it right now. I had a hard day at work. But you know what? This is my Friday. This is like my Friday night. And I get Monday off too, which is totally awesome. Oh, good news. So the gardens where I work in front of the grocery, it's a big grocery store. It's like a Safeway, but it's called Country Grocer. So it's a grocery store chain. There's about 8 of them on Vancouver Island. There's one on Salt Spring. The gardens in front are absolutely beautiful. And they said to me today, it said, Joe, we want to put you in charge of the gardens. They want to put me in charge of the gardens. You know what I said to the guy? I said, you know what, that garden is going to be full of palm trees. And he looked at me and I said, there's hardly palm trees that grow here. And you know what he said to me? He says, yeah, I know. I spent the first 17 of my years living in Lugano, Switzerland. He says, I got a Swiss passport. I used to live in Switzerland. And I'm going to be putting palms in that garden. He says, okay. So there you go, man. Palm trees in the garden where I work. Stay tuned for a video when I get doing that. There's literally a big area called, it's not even that big. It's like 300 feet tall. Really? 300 feet tall. I've been there in mounds. Summer's favorite work. Works incredible. I've been there. I did a whole mounds trip. Cool. You think sable? Oh yeah, I think sable minor would survive, like in Soyuz, Oliver, southern parts of the Okanagan for sure. By the lake. If you're by the lake, it's a Native American mound. Cool. That is pretty cool. Oh, you know what? Palm Tree Dude, I've heard of that place now. Now that you say that, and I've seen a video of it on YouTube. Are there any bamboo you would recommend for Zone 6? Yeah, I'd try Aureosilicata, Philostachys aureosilicata. Try some Pseudosassa japonica. And if it dies back, it'll still come up for you. I'm just trying to think what else. I don't know if Fargesia would work. You could try some Fargesia. Nice thought. Or try some Aria, Philostachys aurea too, golden bamboo. Nice thought. You would have known about it. Yeah, no, I remember seeing something on it now. Now that you mentioned the serpent lining up with the sun and all that, is 300 BC quarter mile. That is pretty cool. Yeah, no, I have seen that on pictures of it. I've seen it on YouTube. Do you think a lipstick palm could survive? And yes, of course, it's totally tropical there. They grow so many tropical things. You know what? You can Google Maturin and it actually freaking shows up now. Try Googling that. It's like these made up islands. They even have their own language. How about that? There's also a serpent. I don't even Baharatara. I don't even know how to say that. Baharatara. Oh my God. There's also a serpent mounds in southern Ontario. Cool. Also, Poverty Creek mounds in Louisiana have solar alignments. Very cool. How different is Salt Spring Garden in this climate than North? Completely different. It's like It's night and day different between here and there. You would have no idea, man. Like things that get fried over there in the wintertime, like Vancouver in Beach Avenue is milder than North Delta. I can tell you that. I know there's big palms in North Delta. I got video, or not pictures, I got pictures of them in my photo album from many moons ago. I'm in the Palm Society. So I've seen lots of big palms growing in Delta, right? And there's some actually old palm trees in North Delta growing in front of a house, and I got pictures of them in my photo album. They're planted in 1973. And I met the guy that planted them because we had a Palm Society tour, back in the day, many decades ago. And we showed up to this one place in North Delta, and I'm looking at these palm trees, and they said these things were towering back then. He says, yeah, I planted them in 1973. So anyway, that's disturbing. Joe kid as to, I know. I never hear from him anymore. Oh, that Pat. Anyway, it's quite different here, Jesse. It's drier. We get a lot less rain than you guys get, believe it or not, because we're in a rain shadow, and we don't get any cold outflow winds and less severity of frost and cold. I don't know how cold you guys got this year in the wintertime, but put it this way. All the eucalyptus trees, they say in Vancouver, are dead from the cold. Eucalyptus trees here are not even bothered from the cold. Big ones. Check out the pictures I just posted on my Facebook page today. Massive eucalyptus trees in town. There's a huge shining gum eucalyptus tree. It's freaking huge. It's got branches on it like this, man. You could build a tree house in it. And yeah, so the gum trees here look good. And somebody mentioned that to me the other day. It says, man, where are those pictures taken? Those gum trees look good. I said, it's on Salt Spring Island. He says, well, they're all dead in Vancouver. Even the ones on Beach Avenue died. So, but supposedly around 40, 30, lipstick would struggle. Barrett around 40 to 30 north latitude. So is it a real place or not? Is there really a place? I don't think there is. Baja, is there? Where is it? Or is it just some made up thing in his brain? We hit 6.6 this winter. Very cold. 6.6 degrees. So that's minus 14 or something like that. Celsius. Person who claims magic growing next. Yes. Something like that. Same person. Joe, I'm going to post an update on the Big 30 here in a few days. Okay, cool. Yes, I wonder how it is. So anyway, back to my tree fern. So I shot a video of it today. And so after a bad freeze, when the temperature goes below 20 degrees, the fronds turn crispy. Like they'll turn brown and then crispy. Like once it thaws up, days after, they start turning crispy brown, and then they just droop and fall off. The fronds are still fine, but they've discolored. So they look like there's still green tips to them. So it obviously didn't get cold enough there to fry them, just enough to discolor them. We do grow palms here unprotected. Oh, right on. We got a Nova Scotia person there. Well, I tell you what you're going to do. JL, since you have a YouTube channel, this is what you're going to do for us. All of us here, all of us palm growers, you're going to shoot some videos of those palms so we don't doubt you. Take a video or two and talk about the video, what you're shooting in the palm trees. Tell us how long they've been in the ground and where they are in Nova Scotia. And because this year in Nova Scotia, it has been very mild. So I have no doubt that palm trees will have no problem arborescent palm, Trachycarpus this year. But average Nova Scotia winter, probably not going to survive. I don't want to, but I can film. Okay, please do a video. I want you to shoot a video. That's awesome. I would love to see some palm trees growing, some big palm trees, like somebody's claimed to me that they're growing in Nova Scotia. There is a guy that has a YouTube channel that has palm trees, but he does cover them. He does actually cover them in the wintertime. American football news and important was officially canceled for the first time. A player had sudden. I know. I saw that. It's pretty sad, man. I wonder why. So you grow palms. What palms do you grow? Do you grow arborescent? Mine are about 40 feet tall. Is that right? So you got 40-foot tall palms in Nova Scotia. Awesome. Yeah. I want to see those 40-foot palm trees, JL. Sweet. I'm sorry. I have to laugh. 40-foot tall palm trees. And how come we didn't know about those in the Palm Society? It's funny. Palm Society guys know where all the palm trees are growing, kind of the tallest ones, right? And if there was a 40-foot tall palm tree in Nova Scotia, certainly it would show up in one of the journals. Channel guys, JL. It'd be awesome. Oh, Scotia. You know what? I'm eating gin. You can grow palm trees like that in Nova Scotia, man. More power to you. I think that's awesome. And a couple of dates. Wow, no way. That's amazing. JL, you are the palm master of Nova Scotia. You should meet my friend then, because I have a lot of friends in Nova Scotia. You should meet my friend Keith that lives in Clark's Harbor, Nova Scotia. He'd like to talk to you. Maybe I can get him in touch with you, because he's tried palms several times there and they failed. His brother actually brought them out from the coast here because he's got 30-foot palm trees in his garden near Vancouver, which we planted decades ago. So he brought some to his brother Keith, some small ones, and they died. So my tall is 40, what the other's 10 to 20 only. Wow. 40 feet tall. When did you plant it? Hard to believe, because that Nova Scotia, the highest growing zone is probably about 6B. I would say if you went to Sable Island, it's probably 8A. 6B, 7A, mildest locations on the mainland Nova Scotia. So if palm trees can get killed in zone 8A southeast of Vancouver, how is it possible for a palm tree to grow 40 feet tall in Nova Scotia with no protection in a lower growing zone? That doesn't make sense to me. I know, palm tree dude. I want to see videos too. JL, you planted them in the 80s. Maybe he could record the video for you then. Don't have to show your face. Why don't you just make videos like we all do? I make videos. Get in there for scale. Get a friend to shoot a video of you standing beside your 40-foot tall palm tree. I shot a video of a 40-foot tall palm tree this summer on Savory Island. Probably seen it. That skirted trachea, fully skirted trachea on Savory Island, 198 kilometers north of Victoria. I agree, Palm Planet. JL, can somebody click on his channel right now and see how much content he's gone in there? I'm not going to bother. Click on JL's channel and see how much content he has on his channel. Does he have any palm stuff on there? I like Nova Scotia. I didn't say I don't like Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia is an awesome province. You know what? If I had to live in an eastern Canadian province, I would live in Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia's got a lot of history. They grow huge rhododendrons. It's got a decent climate. I think it's probably a better climate than Ontario, but it's still not good enough to grow arborescent palm trees without protection. That's all I'm saying. And huge palm trees. You know what? The ones near Dartmouth died, the ones they boxed in. Tachycarbus are dead. They're done. Well, JL, I'm looking forward to your videos. You know what? I think that's great. I just want to see them. I'm curious. I want to see these palm trees, man. Everybody else in here wants to see your palm trees too. Wow. Brazilian salt palm. What's that one? 40-foot Robusta. Wow. Amazing. Well, you know what? If you boxed it in, it's possible. If you put scaffolding around it, it is totally possible. Like I said, I had a friend in St. Louis, Missouri, who boxed in his Robusta palm trees and his Syagrus palm trees and his date palms and his palmetto and his Camarops. Good comedy here. Yeah. Well, if somebody clicks on his channel, then maybe he can see some content of his palm trees. How about tomorrow, JL? I'm going to see what it is in Clark's Harbor. You know your stuff. You sure do. If you're growing 40-foot palm trees, you can give me some advice, man. It is. Yeah, I can grow coconut palm here too. No videos, nothing. I expected that. Palm Planet. Okay. Let's just see something here. Currently in Halifax, it is -1 right now. So I'm seeing I see a -8 for Halifax coming next week, -7s, -3s, -5. So not terribly bitter cold. I mean, Trachycarpus could survive there right now this winter, but they'd probably be pretty beat up with the long-term freeze. Oh, maybe he's in, yeah, Norfolk. Yeah, Brazilian salt bombs. I'll send a video, post on your channel. You know what? It's better yet. With your YouTube channel, post it on your YouTube channel. Put an avatar on there of a palm tree. You got JL on there right now. He did say Nova Scotia. And these guys, I think Palm Planet would like to see it. Everybody in here would love to see your palm trees. Palm tree dude. Yeah, I'm interested, man. I want to see these palm trees. Pretty exciting to think that there are 40-foot tall Washingtonia robusta in Nova Scotia. Because you know what? They're short term here on the coast, man. Wow. I'm sure I've talked to you many times about this before. I'm still waiting to see your palm trees. Like I said, there is a guy in Nova Scotia with a YouTube channel, Sheldon. Seems like a really nice guy. And he does videos of his palm trees. And he does have covers for them. And I think he puts heat in there. They're taller than any of mine. Awesome. Cool. I'm happy for you. Must be a lot older, too. No disrespect at all. I think it's great. I'm dying to see them. Because when I see them, I'm going to post it in my Facebook group. It's an ideal climate for palm trees. Well, you know what? You're going to prove us wrong, right? Mm-hmm. I'm looking right now. Hang on, guys. I'm trying to find Sheldon's channel because he's got Trachycarpus palms in his garden in Nova Scotia, and they actually look. Let's just see. Oh, there we go. This is the only guy I know of. Here's a link to a guy's palm trees. Okay, these are okay. There's Sheldon's palm trees, and they look pretty good. He's got a YouTube channel there. Video tomorrow. Okay, we're looking forward to it tomorrow. Yeah, lots of palm trees on the top of Everest. Wow, tallest palm tree in the Northeast. Is that right, eh? Wow. I have not heard of this. North Tropical Magazine. I'm going to look that up. And I'm going to Google that now, too. So maybe we can find a picture of your palm tree in there. North Tropical Magazine. Okay. There we go. I'm going to try to find it. And let's just see. North Tropical Magazine. That's Australian, man. That's an Australian magazine. They're dead. No, they died. Those ones died, the ones in Halifax. Yeah, they died. It was on the news. Let's go look for them. I saw the news clip on it here. I'm going to find it. I remember watching the news clip on it. Yeah, they're in Dartmouth. Here's the latest. Here's the newspaper. Here, this is what you got to hear. You ready for this, guys? Here's global news story on the palm trees in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, right there. There you go. There's your link right there. You guys can read it for yourself. The city revived them and they paid me. Fake news. It's global. Take a pic of them. I got a friend that lives there too. I'll get her to take a pic of them. I'll message her. She's on my Facebook. She used to live on Spring Island. I'm going to get her to take a pic too. She moved to Dartmouth. God, probably just about 5 years ago now. So I'm going to message her, and I'll see if she's out and about. And she can take a pic of those palm trees for me. Anyway, there's the link, folks. You can read the link yourself. And you know what the link says? I'll tell you what the link says. Days could be numbered for roughing palm trees in Dartmouth. Oh, my God. Oh, God. They don't look good. No, they look toast, man. You do it all. You're awesome. Oh, cool, Palm Planet. Awesome. I know palms grow in Washington, D.C., that's for sure. Because I've seen them. There's proof. There's videos. Right? We know there's palms in Tennessee. There's videos. The proof of it. And yes, there are palm trees in Nova Scotia. There is proof of some palm trees growing, but they are protected in the wintertime. Jack of all trades. Yeah, you sound like a jack of all trades. You sound like an ex-palm grower, too. Hats off to you if you can grow a 60-foot palm tree in Nova Scotia. Exactly, Daniel. Jack of all trades. 40, not 60. Okay, sorry, 40 feet. Still pretty impressive. 40-foot palm. Yes, exactly. Windmill palms. I think JL's a comedian. JL, are you a comedian? I think that's funny. I think JL, you got to come in here more often, man. Even if you don't post pics, JL's got to be in here more often. You can grow wind turbine palms. Right on. You grow everything. All forms of renewables. Nice. You are a jack of all trades. Maybe that's why your first initial starts with J, Jack. Anyway, good for you if you're growing big palms in Nova Scotia. I think he's being sarcastic too. Anyway, well, maybe you got steel palm trees. Are your palm trees those fake ones? Jack Lewis, the IV. I need JL on my live streams. Yeah, no, seriously, JL's good. We need JL in here more often. This is good. Bring a few laughs. I mean, even if you don't post any vids, I really don't care. If you grow palm trees, good for you. You know what I mean? You got to join in more often. JL has got to join in here. We got to have a Nova Scotia guy in here, a palm grower. So JL, even if you're not in Nova Scotia, you might not even be in Nova Scotia. I grow them skyscrapers. I want to stream so bad, but I need. You do? Do you actually need 1,000 subs to stream? Is that the way it works? I don't know. Like Jack and the Beanstalk. Like Jack and the Beanstalk. Yeah. I didn't know you needed 1,000 subs to live stream. Wow. Darn YouTube, eh? Why don't they just change it? They just who cares if you have 1 or 1,000 subs? Just make it where you can live stream with any amount of subs. We've LED light up coconuts here on the signs outside some shops. We have LED lit light up coconuts here. Oh yeah. We have some of those too, not on Salt Spring. You know, there's no LED signs allowed on Salt Spring in front of the stores. They have to be carved wooden signs. You need the stream now. You need the vaccine. for the new channels. That's probably one of Trudeau's rules. Do not anymore. They changed it to YouTube and oh no, not anymore. They changed it. I do it on YouTube and I oh cool. So they did change it. That's cool. Right on. So there you go, Palm Tree Dude. You can stream. The lights are part of my circuit. I use LED lights on palms to help them grow. LED lights, LED grow lights, because they don't give off any heat. Although I do actually have an LED grow light. Sometimes consumers out there, they contact me, like one contacted me last night, and if I do a promo video for them on their product, they give me the product. So the last one I did was the LED grow light. It's a really nice grow light, and it's got it uses way less electricity, and I got it sitting over my date palms right now in the basement. And so I got another one coming for a GoPro camera. They're going to send me some accessories for it, but I got to find my GoPro camera first. Click on go live under the upload. Yep, that's what you do. Warm in the winters. LED keep them warm even though winters are quite mild there. Yes, there you go. LED. Keep those LEDs on, JL. For the past years, I've been working on building tropical garden in my backyard. So far, I've got 3 different types. Oh, cool. Hey, whereabouts are you again, Dustin? I forget. What was your location? Monkey grass, ivy, and ferns in it. Cool. Were you in the U.S. or were you in? You're down in the States, right? Georgia. Give me the dirt. My short-term memory is really bad. Halifax, only 10 minutes out. I'm in Halifax, only 10 minutes out. Really cool. Hey, go visit Sheldon Krause. Sheldon's grows palm trees there. And he does have a YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. They're pretty nice little windmill palms he has. That's good stuff. Have you ever crystallized ginger? Really good. So tomorrow, he does protect them, yeah. Sheldon does. So tomorrow I'm digging out some Vivax timber bamboo. And the canes aren't really big yet, but it's spreading in a park. And one of the guys I used to work with at park says, hey, Joe, how do we contain this stuff? We want to dig some of it out and get rid of it. I said, what are you going to do with it? So they're going to chuck it. I says, can I come and dig it? I said, be my guest. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to be digging out some bamboo. Oh, you're in Georgia. That's right, too. When I first moved here, my yard was a mess. All there was sand and nothing. And oak trees. Slowly cool. It's going to be nice, man. Grow a jungle down there. You need to protect them here. I'll give him a few points. You don't need to protect them here. Well, you go onto his YouTube channel and you tell Sheldon that. I'm not going to tell him that because if his palms die, he can get mad at me. Little trackies got burnt after a low of 7 Fahrenheit here. Big one has basically no damage, no spear pull yet. Wow, good. So it's doing good. I mean, they're pretty. You know what? 7 Fahrenheit's not going to kill that big palm tree. You know what I mean? And even the little ones too. Even after spear pull, if they're in the ground, they can recover. If they're in a pot, 7 degrees Fahrenheit is not good. Not good at all. And you got to remember, we have thousands of palm trees in our nursery, and they're in pots. But I do kick leaves around the pots. But you know what's interesting? So we have thousands of them in 2.5-inch liner size pots in the cold frames with 0 heat. And they're totally fine, even last year too. And they've been out there for years. And I'm always recirculating. So those are going to get transplanted into gallons, a lot of them this year. And then just keeps going. Then we take the ones from the flats and put them into 2.5-inch liner size pots. If you also pour malt vinegar on the fronds, they become more cold hardy. Malt vinegar. So that's the secret, eh? Malt vinegar. You remember that? Listen to this, guys. JL is giving you some pointers on how to make hardier palms. 1,000 subs. I guess you get full features. I don't even know how many subs I have on this thing. I always look. But I guess you get full features. Wow. Cool. I know when you get so many subs, they give you you get a little ribbon right after 10,000, you get a ribbon. Then you have 20,000, a ribbon. Then 30,000, there's a little, when you go into your analytics, right? Yeah. Interesting. Sable Latonia, we have some of those in the greenhouse, little ones. No damage. Very tough palm, eh? Yeah, I have little baby ones in there. It's in some magazines. Is it? Wow. I haven't read those magazines, JL. I have to read those magazines. I'm reading the wrong magazines. Huh. So that's the secret to success, getting those tall palm trees there. I usually just expose small palms. Cold, but I just Vinegar is the way to go. Vinegar is the way to go, man. Do you know any other type of plants be good around for ground cover? So monkey grass, ground cover. You know what we use for ground cover up here? We have periwinkle, kinnikinick, which is native to our island, Arctostabilus uverus. See, it's evergreen. We have twin flower, which is also evergreen, native to our island. You know what? I was working around where I was working today at work, cleaning up around the gardens, and there's ice plants are really nice ground cover. UK palms, hey, good to see you in there. Ice plants are amazing ground cover. Try those. Do you have any pink pear? No. Pink pear? No, we don't have. I don't think we have any pear trees. No pink pear. Yeah. So anyway, try. That's a good ground cover. Ice plants. Oh God, what's the Latin name? Delosperma cooperi. Delosperma cooperi is the Latin name for ice plant. The hardy ones, hardy ice plants. You'd like those ones. And there's also even ground cover, I think, euphorbias too. Then there's another one, which is a ground cover. It's evergreen, native to Taiwan. It produces a little white flower. Is it goldenberry? Emerald carpet. It's called emerald carpet. That's it. Emerald carpet from Taiwan. And it actually produces edible berries on it. Oh, cast iron plants. We grow lots of those here, palm tree dude. We have lots of them in our garden. They're fully hardy. They like shade. Had some in the ground here 20 years now. Never a problem. UK palms. Good to have you in there, UK palms. Good to have everybody in here. UK palms. That's awesome. Join in anytime. You know, my daughter, UK palms, if you didn't know this, my daughter Samantha lived in Taunton. So she lived in Somerset. She married a British dude in the British Special Forces. And my daughter's going to be 29 this year in April, beginning of April. So she lived in England for about 5 years. And then from Taunton, she lived near Devon. They moved down to South Cornwall. So when they lived in South Cornwall, oh man, there's a lot of palms down there. There's a lot of palms in Taunton too, and big cordylines. But when she moved down to South Cornwall, oh man, the date palms down there were sweet. Do they have palms in England? Tons of palm trees. Palm trees all over England, man. Palm trees all over England. Big ones too. All over the UK. Yep. 6 a.m. Palm tree dude, 6 a.m. 6 a.m. what? You know what time it is here? 9:04 p.m. Pacific time. We're sitting at 9:04 p.m. Pacific time here on the Gulf Islands. 12 midnight. Oh yeah, you guys are 3 hours ahead. Yeah, we're 9:05 p.m. Pacific time. If you want to know what time we are, we're the same time as Los Angeles. 6 a.m. in the UK. Oh, 6 a.m. in the UK. Wow. Early. Yeah, you guys are 8 hours ahead of us, something like that. I grew some Antarctic when I lived there. I grew some in Antarctica. You grew some in Antarctica. Wow. Cool. Now, those are the palms we want to get seed from. JL grew palms in Antarctica. Those are a hardy ecotype. That's what we want. Some Trachycarpus palm seed from Antarctica. Those will be hardier than the Brazilian. Those story goes on. The sable miner that died. That NS story goes on. They had a few needles of sable miner that died. Oh, it does. I didn't read the whole story, but it can get pretty cold there for sure. I know it does. I do have friends that live there. It's a lot different than out here on the coast. Yeah. Well, you know, there are probably some monkey trees down in Nova Scotia too, though, down on the southern coast. I'm from Guildford, and we are very hot summers inland. Don't have many stays. Wow, Guildford. We have a Guildford here in Surrey. We have a place called Surrey here, and there's actually a place called Guildford on the mainland. Through Nova Scotia is 9B. Is it that warm? Okay. I see my maps don't show it that warm. They must have updated them. 7A. Vancouver Island. Here he lives 7A. Wow. Oh yeah, there's zone 7As probably on Vancouver Island on top of the mountains. Wow. I've had a YouTube channel in local palm growing Washington D.C. in some way. Needle palm, sable miners. Yes. Some good palms growing around D.C. Coco's Antarctica area. Forestia. Isn't that weird? Yeah, there's a Guildford in Surrey. south of Vancouver. Look it up, man. I kid you not. Surrey is a city south of Vancouver, British Columbia, and there's an area in Surrey called Guildford. Lives in Victoria. Who lives in Victoria? I don't live in Victoria. No, I don't live anywhere near Victoria, actually. I'm actually quite a long way from Victoria. Some 12-foot needle palms planted in the 60s. That is crazy, man. 12 foot. Oh, that's awesome. If I ever move from here, I'm digging out my needle palms. It seems like years ago on my palms can get more and more cold hardy at 16 weather. And the bigger they are, the tougher they are. Yeah, Victoria. So I'll tell you how do we get to Victoria. First of all, I got to drive a half hour to a ferry on the south end of our island. Then I got to take a 30-minute ferry to Vancouver Island, which is on the southern end. Then I got to drive another probably 30 minutes or so. So Victoria is about an hour and a half from here south drive once I'm off the ferry, like from here to the Victoria. 12-foot needle palm seems like there's years goes on. Wow, that's amazing, man. Those are big needle palms. You said you wanted to fight me. I don't think you want. I like how you spend. I like how you spread. I like how you train. I'm trained in martial arts. Like you mean the Marshall Islands? Do you know how to spell Marshall? JL. I don't back down from anybody. Let's just see. I have a video of it up. Thanks. Do you have a channel? Should start one. If not, get tons of views. Yeah. So anyway, the Arboretum in DC has a needle palm planted in '68. Holy cow, that is unbelievable. We can meet and fight in Nova Scotia. JL wants to fight me now. Awesome. What do I get if I win? Marshall guitar amps. Yeah, exactly. No legal stuff with gloves. No, I don't like gloves. I don't wear gloves. And a ring. No, I don't do rings either. There was never a ring in our dojang. Be a celebrity boxing match. Awesome. Marshall guitar amps and arts. Amps, arts. Marshall guitar amp arts. Celebrity boxing match. The winner gets a Trachycarpus palm tree. No, the winner gets a crated jubea. Do you lift weights or do you? Yes, I do. I do. I lift weights. I work out 5 days a week, and I've done lots of martial arts. Yeah, resistance training. I have a gym downstairs, free weights, and I have a Bowflex upstairs. I'll need it. That's funny. I'll need it. I don't, mate. Do you lift weights? Yeah, I've been doing it for 41. You know what? September 1981. It's a long time. Long, long time. It's just a habit now. I actually go into the gym before I go to work in the morning. That's awesome. Yep. What was the wall made out of? I'm just curious. Was it one of those rice paper walls or was it a drywall between the studs? Was it studs on 40-inch centers? I'm curious. Stucco. Awesome. Exercise, and I've been doing it since I was 30. Even do, and good for you, man. There you go. See, that's good. It's good to keep in shape. And you know, my oldest son does that too. He works out. He's really freaking built, and that's good to be. It's good to be in good shape. You should really consider starting one. Definitely take off. Yeah. No, exercising is good for everybody. And of course, eating right too. And planting palm trees. Gardening. Gardening is, you know what? Gardening is a good hobby because it's actually a healthy hobby. I think it's one of the best hobbies, gardening, right? You know what I mean? You're outside with fresh air and you're doing something you like. So, and it's a good addiction. You could be spending your money on worse things. And that's what I say to people, you know, yeah, it's expensive. Palm trees are expensive, but you know, you look at it, you could go buy a pack of cigarettes. Cigarettes for a pack here is about $20. I think it's about $20 for a pack of cigarettes. So, you know, at some nursery, you might be able to buy some small palm for 20 bucks rather than smoking up a pack of cigarettes and screwing up your lungs, right? And nice too. Yeah, but I'm not much into running. And I just like lifting weights. We're teasing. I know we're teasing, but something true of gardening. The sun is good for you. There is many state. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, you get your what is it, vitamin D from it? The capital of Virginia is halfway between DC. Seem to be pretty bulletproof. They're cool. There's some in Maryland too, eh? Palm trees. Resident YouTuber we need. RH. Oh, the resident YouTuber. I'm miles from the coast's inland. Summer, especially at night. We've missed Western Europe. I see. I don't want it. JL. JL's a comedian. I seem to get very. I must. I'll show you. You know, my ex took a picture many years ago, and I'll see if I still have it here. You know, I got it tucked away when I was younger. This picture was taken 38 years ago. As she said to me, Joe, flex, and I was 21 years old. So, you know, I used to be really ripped when I was younger, but you can see my Taekwondo belt in the background there. That was one of my old belts, right? So I started doing Taekwondo when I was really young, when I was like 18. And, you know, I had to kind of give it up in 2012 because I had damaged my leg twice now, my left leg. I stretched the tendons in it doing jump kicks. And the last one, when I was working out on Century Bob, the kicking dummy, and I did I think it was a jumping back kick or a jumping spinning kick. And when I landed, it buckled out sideways. And it's just like, that actually just put me out of commission from Taekwondo. I can't really do that anymore. So too bad because I really loved doing Taekwondo. I did Taekwondo for many years, man. Yeah. Went to the hospital many times, man. Yeah. And so the last time I did that to my leg, the doctor said, when I went to emergency, he says, it never healed properly from the first time. He says, it's actually better to break your leg than to stretch those tendons out and ligaments because they never heal properly. So sometimes I wear just a brace on it, but I've been doing a lot of leg exercises. So it seems to be getting better. But if I do any more martial arts like that, I could really damage it again. And the pain was excruciating. It was probably the worst pain I've ever experienced in my life. It felt like my leg had broken in half. It was just like, it was so painful. So no, I'm not going to do that anymore. I recommend watch a YouTube channel called, oh, there are hundreds and thousands of being photographed in southern England. Oh, so many palms in England, man. So many palm trees. Yeah. UK palms. Yes, Eastern Shore of Maryland, the best place. How about Solomon? Isn't it St. Solomon's Island? Saying your legs after he does great advice on saving your legs. Really? Yeah. Well, now there seem to be pretty good. Like I mean, like I do leg workouts on them. Every second day. Not every day. Every second day I do leg workout. I did as a kid, but when I get wrestling, no longer. Now I just run and yeah, cool. Well, running is good for you too. My oldest kid did taekwondo. My youngest one did it for a bit. My oldest kid, he was really good. He was told he never played. He saves many people. Wow, cool. Bone broth. Oh, there's actually a store in town that sells bone broth. These guys sell bone broth. I wasn't sure about this bone broth stuff, but somebody said it's very good for you. Do you know what a cabbage palm is? That's one of my friends. Cabbage palm is a palmetto. Cabbage palm tree. I've never tried bone broth, but there's lots of people that say it's supposed to be very good. Some of my friends are trying to get me to do MMA stuff, but yeah, I'm too old for that stuff now. I'm 58. I'm not into that anymore. I mean, I used to like to watch it on TV, and you know, when I was younger, we used to go. I used to go to Taekwondo Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and Monday and Wednesday were just kind of the normal Taekwondo nights, but the Friday night was I was full contact. It was a full contact night, so I would go the Friday nights because I liked the full contact stuff. But you know, yeah, you could get knocked out and you get broken ribs. You could get hurt, and it was pretty brutal. I do Muay Thai and Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. Brazilian Jiu Jitsu is really good. I like the Gracies, and Muay Thai is good too. That's a good one for kicking and for grappling. Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. The Gracie family are masters at that. I will make a garden to rival California on the south coast. I won't move to London, concrete jungle, but Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. You could totally do a really cool tropical garden on the south coast of England. Everything. Well, look at the Scilly Isles. For instance, look at the Scilly. Look at even I pick fights with people. I don't go to bars because I don't really drink. I'm not really a drinker. I mean, in the summertime, I'll have a cold beer, but this time of the year, beer doesn't really go down that well. Yeah, I don't pick fights. I've been in fights, but I don't pick fights. I've had somebody, I've had people try to do that with me, and it's usually not a good thing. That's awesome. So palmy there. I don't drink either. I just go there to fight. You just go there to fight. Right. I can tell you one thing. At my last job, I had to fill out several incident reports for people coming up to me or actually coming up to one of the guys I worked with and harassing him. And then I step in. And it's never good when I step in. And I even told the cop, I said, you know what? If somebody ever takes a swing at me, can I do what I have to do to take them down? He says, you do what you have to do because it's self-defense. Okay, that's all I got to know. That's all. And I know the cops on the island. I says, that's all I got to know. So anyway, I've had to fill out several incident reports where I used to work at the parks department because there's a lot of crazy people that hang out in the park and they sometimes do some bad drugs. I call it the biggest open air asylum in our town. There's a lot of people that are a few French fries short of a Happy Meal. And I don't want to be mean about it, but sometimes they're off their meds and they're doing drugs and they get kind of belligerent and they will actually try to come and attack you. So you have to stand up for yourself, right? There are a lot of drugs. Yeah, there is. There's a lot of people that do, well, pot's minor, but mushrooms and maybe ecstasy. I think you don't really see tweakers around here. I don't see any people. I mean, I'm sure there's meth, but I don't really see tweakers. But most of those people come from off island and they hang around in the park in town. I don't really care about pot. I think pot's fine. I don't smoke it, but I like the plant. I grow it. I think it's a beautiful plant. And if you want to smoke it, hey, that's your thing. I did when I was younger, but I don't anymore. I haven't done that stuff for like 40 years. But I think it's a beautiful plant. It's tropical and we grow it every year. Yeah, drug addicts. Anybody that has to do drugs every day, I would say is a drug addict, even if they freaking smoke pot every day, right? Didn't like it. Just not good for my lungs. Make me cough too much. And it just, I didn't need it anymore. I just says, you know what, if I don't quit now, I'll never quit. So that was in December 31st, 1983 was the last time I ever smoked pot. December 31st, New Year's Eve, 1983 was the last time I've ever smoked pot. And I won't smoke it again. I just don't want any of that stuff in my body. My dad tried lifting too much weight and he ended up just, oh, that is, so my wife had herniated discs in her lower back and that was a New Year's resolution. Do you have one this year? What do I have this year? Plant more palm trees. There we go. That's my New Year's resolution. Plant more palm trees. I just made it up right now. Yeah, Wendy actually had surgery on her lower back, man. I drink 8 shots and fight people at bars. Awesome. Palm tree. 8 shots. I just go. I like jail. I don't drink. I just go there to fight. I'm 63. I just hang out in the bar and beat people up. That's my resolution too. I feel sore. This is funny. We gotta have JL in there more often. I just go there to fight. Hey, here, I could just see JL stepping into the door of the bar, and everybody's looking like, oh God, JL's here. He wants to fight. There's that JL guy. He wants to kick ass. I feel sorry for my dad because oh, that's brutal, man. Can I join the video? You are in the video stream. You don't have to join. You're in it, man. JL is in the video stream. Bar means boxing time. Yeah. Yeah, no, we used to go down to the nightclub to go dancing and stuff. It was never rowdy in there. Never ever had a problem. I've never had a problem. I never really hung out at bars much, but we'd go to dance when I was with my ex, and we go down and watch the band play at Moby's Marine Pub here. Really good bands they have in there. And you'd have and I'd never drink because I beat up a 20-year-old on New Year's Eve, 29-year-old on New Year's Eve. That's a good way to bring in the new year. I got to show that. I beat up a 29-year-old. How did the 29-year-old feel about getting his butt kicked by a 63-year-old? If you are 63, we have pub fights down here. Yeah, no, we don't. You know what? Now, I don't even know if do they even have bouncers at our pub. I mean, we have like one pub in town, and it's not really. Oh yeah, we have the local pub, the one where the palm trees are growing. We have the local pub, but it doesn't get rowdy in there. There's two harder versions of Canada's. One is the piece and then mostly like yeah, some of them are pretty strong. I did do a little taekwondo when I was younger and started to get the hang of it. My ankle crack. Oh, I'd broken ribs once in taekwondo. I was fighting this guy, sparring with him, and I should have blocked a little bit faster, but his sidekick came in and busted two of my ribs, cracked them. But I still kept on fighting. It was brutal, man. It was painful. Is there a lot of gangs? There's no gangs on Salt Spring Island. Zero gangs. Canadians are too nice for bouncers. Well, we do have bouncers at bigger pubs, but the pub here, no, there's no, I don't think there's any bouncers at our pub. That's the one I shoot videos of where the four palm trees are growing along the waterfront. That's called the local pub. And people go in there to play pool, maybe look out at the ocean through the palm trees and just chill with their friends. You know, it's kind of like a neighborhood kind of pub. And then there's Moby's Marine Pub, but I don't think there's bouncers in there. I don't recall ever seeing bouncers. I don't even recall ever seeing fights in there. And I've been there lots. I'll tell you what they have. Monday Night Duckwing. Are you part owner of Salt Spring? I own nothing here. The only thing I own is my house. And the bank owns part of that too. So I don't even own my whole house. No, I'm not part owners of Salt. No part owners of anything here. No, maybe part owners of the accommodations my wife owns at our house here, right? Because I'm kind of like, I'm her husband. So I guess I'm part owners of the accommodation. Canadians, yeah. I wish we were a little bit meaner, get rid of Trudeau. Got to get rid of them. Usually, some of the people in my college, good God, they can be degenerates. I don't remember the UK base having bouncers, or at least not in central London. Yeah, I do remember some pubs on the mainland. Trudeau was a boxer too. Yeah, so he says. Don't like the guy. Can't stand him. I ran into my old teacher a couple of months ago. I told me I'm living like a monk. I thought that was the coolest thing. Cool, that's right on. Right on. Justin Castro. That's what I call him. Toby's in there. Cool. How you doing, Toby? Bush of Guildford. We do down here in the Bush of Guildford. Yeah, when you say Guildford, I keep thinking of Surrey, south of Vancouver. Daniel Christian said these two cold hardy cannabis survive in the middle. No way. What? Oh, I want to grow those. No way. Crazy. They sell seed here, and I've seen them actually, the seed go through the winter, and I've pulled out seedlings in the park, believe it or not. You love Trudeau. Oh, I'd love to see him in jail. Best president we've had. Trudeau. Oh, can't stand him. Hope we don't have a summer like last year's dry desert. Yeah, you guys had a really we had about 120 days without rain. Can't stand the prick. I hate him. I hope we don't have. There is hemp that naturalized all over. That's cool. Hemp's a pretty cool plant too. Yeah, you got to throw that guy in prison. The Midwest called them ditchweed. Wow. Yeah, daily. No, weekly. Weekly. Wendy likes to go like this to my head. She likes the smooth head. The Midwest called them ditchweed for decades to exterminate them. Wow. So they're weeds? That's crazy. That is crazy. So hemp has become weeds. That is amazing. I'd like to get some seed for that. So can it take frost then? So it would be an annual, right? So it's going to die down. It's going to die down in the winter months. Do you have tumbleweeds there? No, no tumbleweeds, but there are tumbleweeds in California. I remember when we were driving up, we were driving up I-5 one night after leaving Knott's Berry Farm. We're at this big New Year's Eve concert, 1981 going into 82. And I'm asleep in the back seat. And then I get up for a bit because he's driving and I'm looking, I could see tumbleweeds going across the road. And he hit one with his car and it just busted it into a million pieces. But they were blown across the highway. It's so cool. I think they break off from the ground. Cannabis ruderalis. Okay. Lots of big fires we made from March. Wow. We get a lot of them up here in British Columbia too. No tumbleweeds here, JL. It's very hard to find any ditchweed. Lots of big fires in the UK. There used to be grow fields of Wow. It's very useful plant hemp. You know that? Lately, it has been flooding here. We've had some severe storms. Yeah, we haven't had a lot of rain here. We had that snow, then it rained for several days to wash it away. I didn't think they grew meth. I think they make it like they do in a trailer, like at what was that called? Breaking Bad. Did you ever see Breaking Bad? Meth. That's one stuff you know. That's one thing you'd never want to do is meth. That's awful. Hopefully, the northern hemisphere gets plenty of rain. Yeah, we need it for our groundwater. We have not had the rain this year and last year. Very dry. The ground was very dry and dusty last summer. Yeah, that's what it's like here. It's super scary, man. Like so, living here on the islands, we worry about forest fires. It's just the forest fire rating goes really, really high. Breaking Bad was good. That was a pretty cool show. Cool movie. Good series. Do you have mimosa trees? Yeah, yeah. They don't grow like weeds here, but there's some big ones on our coast. Big ones on Salt Spring Island too. I've grown some of the biggest ones from seed. We grow hot chocolate here, not that I know of. Kiss the baby. Hi, Mike. How are things in Pennsylvania? Wow, it's warm in here. I gotta check the fire. Hang on. I gotta make sure Wendy's got logs on the fire. How's the fire going? Oh, okay, good. Doing a live stream. No, I'll be down in a minute to grab you. Okay. She's like glued. Wendy's favorite show is Grey's Anatomy. She's glued to Grey's Anatomy. She's been watching like marathons of Grey's Anatomy every night. Saul, yeah, there's actually a show called Saul now. It's the lawyer show. Him. He's got his own show now. Saul. Go ask Saul, right? I didn't know you lived. I didn't know you were live. I thought this was a video. No, this is live, man. We are live. Mimosa trees have great wood. Looks a bit like. Oh, really? No way. God, I wouldn't want to cut one down. Do you heat your home? Yes, we have a fire. I split lots of wood. I split 4 cords of wood. Late October, we had 8 trees cut down, and I split 4 cords of wood. I split a lot of wood every year. My one friend is being difficult. Will you tell your friend not to be difficult? Tell them to join in the live stream. Maybe they want to join in the live stream. We can straighten them out. We'll straighten your friend out. JL will straighten your friend out. JL will beat your friend. No, there's no furnace here. We use just wood. No, well, we have baseboards. We have electric heat. We have electric baseboards, but we never turn them on. It's just too expensive. So we use wood heat. Wood heat is the best. It's so nice. We get 7 inches of rain here in Guildford. 7 inches, 17 inches. That's it. That's not a lot of rain. We're 30 to 35 inches of rain here annually. Yep, I'll fight your friend. There we go. JL will fight your friend. Blast off. Talk to JL. He'll set your friend straight. Cocoa trees. Puerto Rico has been depopulated, protected, but there's some movement to go back to agriculture. Wow. I got a friend that lives in Puerto Rico. He moved there from here in January 20 years ago. 20 years ago. London gets 18 to 22. So that's not a lot of rain. Did you ever see into the Badlands? No, I never did see the Bad. I've been to the Badlands. I've been to the Badlands in Alberta. It's actually a really cool place. So you're driving along, and then all of a sudden you go down into this kind of valley, and then you see sagebrush and cactus everywhere. This is in Alberta, and you see sagebrush and cactus, and you are actually in southern Alberta, man. And I remember we stayed at the Super 8 Motel. So where all the dinosaur bones are, right? And I looked out the window, and the whole hillside was covered in opuntia cactus. Puerto Rico used to be part of Nova Scotia, broke off. Is that right? Okay, that makes me wonder. Puerto Rico or Nova Scotia grows such good palm trees, kind of tropical. You get 44 inches of rain a year. 44. Okay, so you guys get about 10 or so more inches than us. Very interesting. They have a Badlands in Spain. What type of cactus? Opuntia, the round prickly pear opuntia. I don't know the Latin name of that one. I don't know if it's humifusa, but it's round, flat pads, flat prickly pear. Alberta has lots of cactus, man. I've seen it with my own eyes. Matter of fact, I wanted to dig some out, and my wife says, don't do that. Yeah. Oh, it'll totally. Oh, I bet what I grow here. Yeah. It'll grow there. It'll grow. It's super cold hardy. There's lots of it in Drumheller. That's where it is. Drumheller, Alberta. Lots of cactus. I got to find out the species. I'm going to find, let me just see cactus species in Alberta. Cactus species in Alberta. Alberta. I want to find out the species. It is Opuntia, and oh, there we go. It's Opuntia. It's funny. We have. There it is. Oh, vivipara. They actually have a few species of cactus. Wonder if I can put this in here. Here we go. Let's see. Alberta has. There are two quite common native species, Opuntia fragilis and Opuntia polycam. Two other Canadian species are Opuntia, not Albertans, but cold hardy too. Not Albertans, but cold hardy too. I would, not Albertans. I would recommend you look up the show is martial arts. Oh, really? The Badlands. Cool. Joe, please show us. Do they have palms? I'll show you. I have Alberta cactus in our garden. Yeah, there's palms in Alberta in the West Edmonton Mall. I should grow some species from the because there's cactus in the plains too, right? Alberta has rattlesnakes too. Yeah, I think in Lethbridge there's probably be rattlesnakes, and there's rattlesnakes in British Columbia too. There's rattlesnakes in the Okanagan. Lytton, there's rattlesnakes, and there's a lot of cactus that grows in the desert regions of British Columbia too. Lots of prickly pear, and we have cactus here on our island. We have native cactus on our island. We have prickly pear cactus, Opuntia fragilis, here on Salt Spring Island. There's rattlesnakes. Oh, you got rattlesnakes in PA too. Wow. Love cactus. I have a bunch of Opuntia. Cool. Yeah, there's a lot of different Opuntia cactus. Bird of Badlands, a desert. What is more desert? It's pretty deserty in the Badlands too. And like I say, there's sagebrush and cactus everywhere. But if you go to the Okanagan, like Osoyoos, and I've never been to Osoyoos. Wendy has. I've been to like Vernon, Kamloops, Lillooet, Cache Creek. It's very deserty there too. I'm surprised they don't have palms native to this because it's so. It is, but they've been planted there. That's the thing. It's because it's in the Gulf Stream current. It's very mild. I don't know if it's actually a subtropical climate. Do they class it as subtropical? Because Augustus Smith started planting those palms in the 1800s, right? In the Tresco Abbey Gardens, Isle of Tresco. We have timber rattles. Wow, yeah, we don't have any rattlesnakes here on our island. 7-inch. Wow, now we don't get storms like that, Dustin. That's like a subtropical storm. I don't think northern birds, but rattle. So they're dangerous. They'll kill you. Which one is more desert? I think Osoyoos maybe might be, but dang, you know what? I'm gonna find out annual rainfall. You know what? It will tell me which is more desert. Who gets the least amount of rainfall? Drumheller. Drumheller annual rainfall 3.6 inches. Holy cow. Okay. Drumheller 3.6 inches of rain. Oh. Hang on, guys. Bear with me. I think Drumheller is more deserty. 12 inches. Okay, you know what? Drumheller, 3.6 inches annually, precipitation, 12 inches annually in Osoyoos. So Drumheller, Alberta is more deserty. 3.6 inches annually. Did you ever look at the? No, I didn't. I got to look at those. I was busy. I was working today too. No alligators native to BC. 40 inches of rain. 3.6 inches of rain annually in Drumheller, Alberta. That is so dry there. Tons of snow though. Annual precip. In Drumheller, I don't think they do get a lot of snow. I think it's okay. Annual precip. Hang on. Annual. Annual precip. Okay, so with snow and everything, 18.6 inches of precip a year. Palm Planet, 18. 18.6 inches of annual precip. That's counting snow and everything in Drumheller. No, they couldn't grow palms there. It gets too cold. It's way too cold. So anyway, so that's 18.6 inches of annual precip is not a lot of precipitation. So it's very dry there. That's why the whole hillside was literally covered in. I opened up the curtains in our hotel room at the Super 8, and I'm just like, oh my God, look at this cactus. There was the whole freaking hillside was cactus. It was crazy. So there you go. Los Angeles is around 18. Yeah, our outer Gulf Islands have been as low as 18 too. 18. Yeah. Saturna Island can be really dry. When I first moved here, I had a really hard time learning what to grow well. I have lots of sand in my yard. Oh, you can grow good drainage there then, Dustin. Be able to grow lots of good stuff. You grow yourself a cactus patch. Yeah. So no palms in Drumheller unless they're growing inside a building. I didn't see anything. The only thing I saw there was sagebrush, more sagebrush, cactus in Drumheller. Palm tree seemed to move. This Andy's love to. This Andy's always been having the right type of grass and plants that would grow well. When you can always amend it too, Justin. Just throw, get a load of topsoil, and when you dig a hole to plant your palm in there, throw a lot of topsoil in there. Even protected can't grow in Drumheller. It's too cold. Well, I mean, yeah, you'd have to put a box around it. You'd have to put a box around it in major heat because it gets really cold in Drumheller. I mean, it probably gets to like minus 30 degrees there, maybe minus 40. I don't know. It's brutal. Winters are brutal in Alberta, man. I mean, you know what? If it didn't get so cold in Alberta, I would probably move there because Alberta is like the Texas of Canada, right? I got to grab some water. Hang on. I'm getting really thirsty. I'll be right back. Okay. Sorry, guys. I need water. Drink lots of water. So freaking hot in here. Okay. Palm dude, where are you? That's how you drink water right there out of a 4-liter jug. If you come to southern England in the summer, you'd mistake it for. I've never been to England before. My wife's been there. My last wife was British, but not born there. Her parents were born there. Her dad was born in Manchester, and her mom was born in Liverpool. Home of the Beatles. The whole countryside is summer grass bone. That's the way it looks here on the Gulf Islands. Summer is brown and winter is green, right? Very, very green in the wintertime here. But everything burns out in the summertime. Can you grow big cactus in Drumheller? No, I don't think so. I don't think you can grow any big cactus in Drumheller. It's too cold. 43 out here at the moment. 10 degrees here at the moment. 10 degrees Celsius. It's showing me on my weather station. It's not too bad. They said it's supposed to be windy. I'm not hearing any wind out there at all. Okay, can't be 17F. The whole countryside this summer had green grass. Drumheller, not 17 here. I meant, it's 17 Fahrenheit in Drumheller. See, that's pretty cold. I need to make in Alberta warmer, then I'd move. If Alberta was warmer, I'd move there too. Definitely. If I can grow palm trees, then I move there. That's the way I see it. If you can grow Brachycarpus palm tree, no problem, then I can move there. Well, it should thrive in Nova Scotia. If he's growing 40-foot tall Washingtonias, Sable would just absolutely thrive in Nova Scotia where he is. I don't know what part of Nova Scotia he's in. He didn't tell us. He didn't tell us what part of Nova Scotia you're in. What part of Nova Scotia are you in? Are you in southern Nova Scotia, northern Nova Scotia? We just need to dig a big moat around. That's right. Well, we do. have the ocean on this side and the ocean on your side. Oh, sables grow wild in Halifax. There you go. See? JL will tell you. He knows. He'll give you the frickin' dirt. He'll give you the dirt. It's native there. Wow. That's its northernmost limit. Hey, get us some seeds. I want some seeds from those Nova Scotia sables. That's what we don't have. We don't have Nova Scotia sables. Native sable minor. Sable palmetto. Are they Halifax strain? Nova Scotia strain sables. So they can grow in cooler conditions. That's what we want. Put on growth with less heat. The Nova Scotia sable palmetto. Awesome. You can make big money on those seeds, JL. Hey, there's another video you got to shoot. You got to shoot a video of sable palmetto growing there. Also native here. Not only sables, Chilean wine palm, also native. That's why they call it a Chilean wine palm. Should be called a Nova Scotia wine palm. Right? Someone posted a patch of woods filled with sable minor in Virginia and that she said it was. So if that's true, then they were Evanston. Yeah, I heard there could possibly be some in southern Virginia, native ones. Sables should be fine in Nova Scotia, native there. Yes, I found out. Oak tree leaves are not good for the soil. Oh, really? Too acidic. See, our soil up here is pretty acidic. It is acidic soil here on the coast. It's probably because we have a lot of conifers around. So, but you know what? Trachycarpus palms, they love acidic soil. The original owner who put my house, see anything down since we moved here, I've had to at least, 20 oak trees. Hey, firewood. I've been to Vagina in the 80s and didn't see any palms. And you went to Vagina. It's too funny. Yeah, the sable minor debate. I heard there were native ones there. That's what they claim, or at least they used to be native there. Last time was in the 80s. Sable minor. I know they grow there easily, though, but there isn't much evidence for it. So no, but there are native palms in Arkansas, right? Isn't that crazy? There are native palms in southwestern corner of Arkansas in the city of Warren, and there's also alligators down there too. And of course, they got the razorbacks. They got those wild boar. Have you guys ever tried wild boar meat? I was like, oh man, it is so good. Wendy loves wild boar meat. So a buddy of ours, Banana Hal, down the road there, he was hunting, like I say, in November, and they shot 2 wild boar. He got one, and his buddy got one. So he's got plenty of boar meat in his freezer. And if you ever get a chance, I don't know if your butcher shop sell them, but there's a butcher shop in Vancouver that sells wild boar pork chops. Oh, they're to die for. They're marinated, and it doesn't taste anything like a pork chop, man. It is better than a steak. I thought some of that leaf and pine acidity problem was drastic because they naturalize there is dryness. We got lots of, like I say, the soil here, if you're to test the pH, it's going to be very acidic. Hey, from Seattle, have you ever grown podocarpus? Yes. It's hardy for yes. There's a big one beside. Actually, I shot a video of one not that long ago. It's beside the church. There's a big one here. The church closest to us, which is about 6 miles away, 5 miles away, maybe 6 miles down the road. And there's a nice podocarpus growing beside that. And people do grow them in their garden here. Podocarpus macrophyllus is hardy here. And Japanese yew pine, I think they call it. Yeah, big long needles. So a lot of people use them as houseplants, but they are fully hardy trees here on our island. Same with the Wollemi pine. People that also grow Wollemi pine here as well, right? So podocarpus is a nice one. I really like that tree. But check out my video. On this channel, all you have to do is on the search engine, podocarpus. And matter of fact, I can do that right now. And I'll give you a link to it. And you can see my podocarpus videos. Oh, my rock videos come up here. Hang on. Podocarpus. Let me just put that in. Podocarpus. Buddhist pine. There we go. Okay. Uh, yeah, I've grown them from seed. So here's a video of my seed grown podocarpus. I've grown lots of them from seed. Is there palms in Spain? No palms in Spain. Nothing in Spain. Hey, yeah, good to have you in there, Paul. Filmed in Spain. Yes, watch the spaghetti westerns. So there's a link to a podocarpus right there. Yeah, check that out. And I have other ones too. There are, like I say, on this channel, just search podocarpus and you'll see my podocarpus videos. You got to remember, this channel has a lot of videos on it. I've lost track of how many videos on this channel. I've been shooting videos since 2008 for YouTube. So I have 3 YouTube channels, but on this channel, I've been shooting nonstop since early July 2010. And I've shot videos every single day since that time. I've never missed a day. Okay, so that's why there's so many videos on here. Somebody asked me, why do you have so many videos on that channel? How did you get so many videos? Because I shoot videos every single day and I've never missed a day. So we're going to the 13th year on this channel. Not many here in Nova Scotia. I live as a monk. You live as a monk. So no wife, no girlfriend, eh? Wow. You like Spanish women's. Italian made and European film version of American Westerns, but better. Cool. Living out in the bush in England is annoying. My washies are damaged from the freeze. But 25 miles east in London, there are bloody king size Kentia palms. Is there really? That's crazy, eh? Yeah. No, I know there's big ones. I've never seen any Kentia palms. That's what I want to see. Hey, if somebody can get a video of a Kentia palm in England, we grow Kentia palms in pots here. They're not going to work outside here. They'll work outside down on the Oregon coast. There is not many here knows who I live as a monk there because there's no Spanish women, so I prefer to live without women. Okay. No wonder why. That's why anger fight in the bar. That's why pent up anger. Well, you know what, JL, there's lots of dating sites there, buddy. Go on to eharmony.com. You know what? There's probably a woman out there that likes palm trees. So you've met your match. Just go onto a dating site. We've been having temperatures in the mid 60s Fahrenheit at night, and at night low 40s. Okay, not bad. Good temperatures for palms. Gotta love Georgia. My youngest son's best friend lives in Georgia, right? So his best friend lived on Salt Spring Island for I think 2 years, and then he moved back to Georgia. So yeah, my son's been down there a couple times to visit him now. He's south of Atlanta. He's south of Atlanta, Georgia. My son goes down there in the summer. Hot, really hot. My youngest son is 22, 23 soon. So yeah, his buddy actually did live here on Salt Spring. They rented a house together. Do you want to send me some photos? Do you want me to send? Do you want me to send you? Yes, send me some photos. I want to make a video with them sometime. That'd be cool. I want to see these Kentia palms because I love Kentia palms. When I put my Halifax 40-footer up on my dating profile, you will put your 40-foot Halifax 40-footer up there, man. We're going to get palm lovers coming out of the woodwork. There's going to be women flocking to you for your 40-footer. For your palm. Here we have foxes, bobcats, coyotes, even bears. Wow. We have mountain lion here. We have raccoons, mink, and deer, and more deer. Why do you think sables are almost never available average nursing? Because it's not a good climate for them here. It's just the heat. You know what? They may be hardy enough for a lot of areas along the coast here, but they're slow growers. So that's why a lot of nurseries probably don't bother with them. It's a Trachycarpus place up here. Of Kenchas in London just after the freeze, I have one in the ground too that's mine. Most pots. Wow, cool. Why is there so many more palms in Vancouver than Seattle? Well, there's lots of palms in Seattle too. I've been to Seattle a lot of times. There are more palms, I think, in Seattle, in Vancouver, like in public areas. But when you're driving around Seattle, there are a lot of palm trees in people's gardens and big ones too. And in the parks, if you go to the Chittagong Ballard Locks, there's really old palm trees in the Ballard Locks in Seattle. I think they were planted in like 1939 or 40 by a guy named Carl English, long time ago. The windmill palm family seems to be, they are very cold hardy. There's uh, 8 species in the genus, I think. So there's Trachycarpus fortunei, Trachycarpus wagnerianus, Trachycarpus tequil, Trachycarpus manipur, Trachycarpus princeps, Trachycarpus nanus, Trachycarpus latisectus, Trachycarpus martianus. So that's 8 right there. And then there's some other ones. There's Trachycarpus, some other funny, fancy schmancy ones they've come up with now. One they call Takigaki. There's one called, you know, the ones I'm talking about. There's some other ones that never really used to exist a long time ago, but there seem to be some other ones they've pulled into the mix there now, right? So I don't know. There's Trachycarpus winson, the one with the 360 fronds. I don't ever remember that existing when I was many years ago. Really nice Butian eucalyptus at the Ballard Locks. See, good park, the Ballard Locks. So there is a Butia there, and that's cool. There's Camarops too, because palms in Canada versus Seattle is more a novelty. Maybe that's what it is, I guess. I don't know. Oh, yeah, Swampsonii. I made up that name. You know why? And I know I made it up because, you know what? I look at these palms down in our deep ravine, and they're growing in standing water. That is so bizarre, and it still blows me away that these palms have not rotted. They are absolutely flawless. I should go down there tomorrow if I have time, or this weekend, and I'll take Wendy's. I'll shoot a video maybe for Wendy's YouTube channel. And if you want to see my wife's YouTube channel, because she's got palmy things on there too, Golf Island Rock. So if you tune into her channel sometime, you can see some of the videos I shoot on there. I'll tell you, 21 GB cents, you'll get all the girls. It's Ferrari of the palms. That's right. Trachycarpus swampsonii. Wouldn't that be something else if that actually made it into the genus of palms? Trachycarpus swampsonii. I tell you what, these palms are like nothing else I've seen in the Trachycarpus family, where they are actually growing in the creek, in the frickin' water. So when the creek burnt, that is just mud. In the summertime or in the late spring, I throw seed into the creek. Like I'll throw it into the muddy creek, and some of those things, they germinate and they survive. And they grow. And I was down there the other day, and yeah, they're just in the standing water, man. It's pretty crazy. So Trachycarpus, maybe fortunei variant Swampsonii. It's like like this variant of Trachycarpus that's adapted to growing in these abnormal growing conditions. Like I'm going to say kind of boggy, swampy, wet all the time, like waterlogged. It is waterlogged down there. You can go in the driest summer day, and I dug a 4-foot deep hole, and the hole started filling up with water. So the deep ravine is far from our house in the back of our property, and it is a deep ravine. It is, yeah, so you can always get water down there if you dug a hole. Have you ever thought of inventing a palm? I've made a hybrid between Washingtoni Robusta and Chile. Wow, 40 years. Unbelievable. I'd like to see that hybrid. I want some seed from that. Is it producing seed? More water. That's the best thirst quencher right there. A hybrid. I've never invented any palms. Never invented any palm trees. I throw seeds down in a deep ravine, and I call them Swampsonii. But could you take them gradually to colder climate? Make them more hardy, the Swampsonii. I don't know how hardy they are. I mean, they're hardy enough for here. I don't know how hardy they are off in a lower growing zone. I've sent them to Poland. I have actually sent some to Poland. I've sent a lot of palm seeds and seedlings to Poland, but I've also shipped Swampsonii. People wanted to buy some, so I went and dug them out. I sent you some photos of my palm trees. Facebook, show you. Okay, cool. Right on. Thanks, Dustin. Do you grow any yucca rostrata? No, I don't have any. I don't remember ever seeing it. No, I don't have any in our garden. I had a chance to they grow here on our coast. There are big ones in Vancouver in our coast, but I don't have one. Like over time, could we make palms become more hardy? Maybe. Too bad they couldn't do that. Like, these scientists seem to do all this stuff in the lab. Too bad they couldn't take a coconut, and make it more hardy. They could do something, yeah, or genetically modified. They could do something like that where a coconut palm could actually survive in Seattle or maybe more north along the coast. Wouldn't that be cool? Or Virginia Beach, you'd see coconut palms. I met my girlfriend on a dating app. I like Asian women. She's from Indonesia. Hey, nothing wrong with Indonesian women. There's lots of Filipino and some Indonesian women work where I work at the grocery store. They work in the deli, and Thai women too. Very nice ladies, super sweet ladies. One of them was actually away in Thailand for a month. Maybe that would be the problem for Texas. Maybe that would fix the exactly. So that's the thing with Texas. There's lots of nice palm trees that can grow there for a long time in places like Dallas, but then every so often you get that killer cold snap, right? And it just nukes some of the plants. It's kind of sad. You got these old palm trees growing in your garden, and then you get a deep freeze. It goes down below 0 degrees Fahrenheit, and it just freezes them and kills them. It's like that would be so sad to go out there and have a 20-foot or 30-foot tall Washingtonia filifera, get killed by the cold. Like Tony Cerboni has got an amazing palm garden in Dallas, and he had this huge Washingtonia filifera. So the bad freeze of December 21 looked like it nuked it. I think he should have left it longer. Well, they ended up cutting it down, and guess what? When he cut it down, there was actually green coming out of it. It's just sad. It was alive. How are your oleanders doing? Yeah, we have a couple oleanders in the garden. The bigger ones, they were fried last December of 2021, but the other ones are okay. Smaller red ones, they're in the ground. I'm growing tens of thousands of date palms from seed, exposing them. Wow, cool. That's the way to do it, though. It's kind of like, Toby, it's kind of like me throwing thousands of seeds in this deep ravine, okay? Thousands of Trachycarpus seeds from various palms that I've harvested from on the island. Some of them are going to get rot. Some of them may rot. Some of them may get eaten by squirrels or rats or whatever's down there. But the hardiest ones are going to germinate and survive, and that's what's happened down there. So after throwing tens of thousands of seeds, only the hardiest ones have survived in that deep ravine. Ping pong is fun in Southeast Asia, almost as much fun as palms. Ping pong. I like ping pong. How are your oleanders? Yeah. So anyway, the 2 red oleanders are still going. Maybe you could pour some malt vinegar in the trunks, gently modify them. Make malt vinegar. That's the key. JL, we got to get some malt vinegar. I have to go to sleep in my hammock that I have in my 40-foot palm. Now, good night. Oh, you're going to sleep now? Man, you're the life of the party. Bummer. Well, I'll join in next time. We'll have another live stream, hopefully sooner than later. What percentage of germinations from date palm is really low? Seed, no, they grow pretty good. I think it's pretty high, date palms, because the ones that I've planted from the dates that I've eaten, they all seem to come up. Growing from grocery store dates, yeah, they're really good germination rate. Yeah, we're going to be we're all going to be on the lookout for your video, not just me. Everybody on this live stream is going to be looking for JL's 40-foot palm video, right, guys? Everybody out there is going to be on your channel looking. You can do it. We're going to be waiting in anticipation for a 40-foot palm tree in Nova Scotia. I can't wait to see that. That is going to be freaking awesome, because once you put that on there, then I'm going to share it so everybody can see your cool palm trees in Nova Scotia. I will put it on my Facebook page, People Who Love Palm Trees and Exotic Plants. All right. I'm on the hammock right now. Wow. In Nova Scotia in the wintertime. It will go viral. It might go viral. I love to see that palm in Nova Caledonia. Nova Caledonia. I know a lady from New Caledonia. We have monkeys here too. I bet there's monkeys. We have a lot of monkeys here too. Porch monkeys. So I heard one time that you said your jelly palms don't send to do very well. There they are. Yeah, no, they lose their center spear. Mine do at this place. I've give up on those now. Yeah. Yeah, it depends. Southern states, they're going to do a lot better than in the north. There are some on our island that have been in the ground for years, but they don't do very well where we are. Do you think arbutus germinated if I scatter a bunch in a ravine in our backyard? Oh yeah. Drainage. Arbutus needs drainage. So if the ravine is really wet all the time, they're probably not going to germinate. but you want drainage. Ours is very rocky soil. We have towering, and there's lots of them. There's towering arbutus trees on our property. They're all around us. There's lots of them in Seattle. So grab a bunch of seed, get a bucket full of seed, and just start scattering them everywhere. Some of them are going to come up, right? And they might not all come up. Birds eat the berries and stuff, but some of them will germinate for you. I heard that you said your jelly bombs don't send you very well. No, they don't. The last one, like I say, lost its center spear, unfortunately, the Batia. I'm growing Medjool. Wow, you're growing a lot of dates. Holy diner. That is a lot of dates, man. Wow. Arbutus are great. I really love arbutus here in Texas. That's cool that you have arbutus trees in Texas. That is so cool. We have the arbutus unido here. They grow all over, but they're not native. And then we have the Pacific Madrona arbutus mancesii, which are native. They're extremely messy. We have a massive one, two really big ones hanging over the back of our house here in the courtyard. And then over our other accommodation at the other end of the property, we have two at least 120-foot tall arbutus trees towering above it. That's why it's named arbutus blossom. And then probably about 40 feet away, there's another 100-foot arbutus tree. Then there's a 60-foot arbutus tree there. And then there's another one there. Oh, we got arbutus trees all over our property. And then there's a bunch in the front too, some big ones. I have a video of arbutus in Guadalupe Mountains. That is cool. Right on. I love that. Those are the seeds I'd like to get. I'd like to try growing that one. I'd love it. It'd probably work here. I wish here in Denver. What? Wish you could expenses up here. No way. No way in Denver. Wow, High City. I have a video of arbutus in Guadalupe Mountains of Texas. So that's got to be pretty hardy. Where is here for you all? Paul, where is here for you all? Paul is in Seattle. Yeah, so he's just south of me. As the crow flies, about 100 miles as the crow flies. Not that far. Seattle is not that far south of our islands. Brooking, Oregon has an average temperature. Subtropical plants must grow or into the 40. Yeah, well, yeah, it's unbelievable what grows in Brookings, I tell you. I always knew about Brookings. I just had to go down there and see it for myself. So I think it was 2004 we went down to Brookings. And oh man, stayed at the Best Western in Inn on Chetco Avenue. It's just like, I says, I'm going to palm sightings, right? Palm finding. And I went around the back road from the hotel. First thing I see is a giant date palm. I go, look at this, man. I was just in awe. And they were like all over the place. Once I started driving up and down, I was like, I'm seeing Washingtonias everywhere and date palms everywhere. It's like, it's just as good as they said it was. It was awesome. There's Sable Minor at Denver Botanic Garden, minus 15 Fahrenheit. Whoa, that's crazy. Cistus nursery Keji has really small. Wow. I'd like to try that. I'd like to try that arbutus. I just read Brookings has never recorded a temp. No, I have the weather records for Brookings, and it says in 1972, I actually have the weather records for Brookings. They got down to 18 degrees Fahrenheit. See this 50-pound briefcase, old fashioned? That's all palm tree information. That's all palm tree information and weather records. So let me just, I'm going to try to find it for you. I do actually have a lot of information on Brookings. I actually wrote to Brookings a long time ago, and I wanted weather records and stuff for there. So they sent me some stuff on Brookings, a lot of stuff on Brookings. And I'm going to try to find it here for you because I do actually have weather records. Oh, got so much crap in here. And you know what? They call it the Brookings effect. And they call it the Brookings effect because a weatherman in 1955 did a little research on Brookings and the weather phenomena that's there. And it's a very, very interesting climate, Brookings. There's a cordy line in Brookings. See that cordy line? There's my buddy standing beside a cordy line in Brookings. This picture was taken many, many moons ago. This is back probably about 33 years ago, but there's a cordyline in Brookings. Formium tenax in Brookings with my buddy Rudy standing beside it. I mean, Formium tenax is all over the place. I'm going to find you. Here's a Washingtonia in Brookings. There's a nice washi in Brookings right there. I'm getting closer to the weather stuff. I know it's in here somewhere. Should be. Where's my weather of Brookings? Come on. I saved so much palmy stuff. Like this is all palm stuff. I was wondering what it would be. I don't know if you guys are palm crazy like me, but I saved every palm article. So many palm articles. Here's an article from many moons ago that I helped write. Palm trees love BC. This one was 1990. 1990. My God, that was a long time ago. Let's see. February 22nd, 1990. It's about 33 years ago. Right there. Let's see. I'm going to find out for you. Yeah, there's some big ones in Brookings. They're like that over in some big ones in Tofino on the west coast of Vancouver Island, right? Lots of big cordylines. Yeah, that cordy was, I went down there and I saw them. They were freaking massive. There's a good thing on microclimates. Yeah. Some of these articles are so old, 1987. Like, look at this article. Vancouver, sand, sea, and palms. That one came out in 1987. Long time ago. There's Jubaeas. Yeah, there's some big ones in England. Big cordylines. Big cordylines in England. Big cordylines in Scotland. Big cordylines in Ireland. Okay, come on. I'm getting close. This is it down here. Hang on. That looks like Brookings stuff right there. Come on. Oh, there we go. Here it is. Look at this. This is all Brookings stuff. This says, here's why Brookings bass in banana belt. See this? This is all in Brookings, Oregon, eh? I sent away many, many years ago. Here's why Brookings. There's another one, bass in banana belt. I got weather records somewhere too. I got to find them. Brookings Harbor, Oregon South Coast banana belt. Where's my weather records? Brookings Harbor. Banana belt of Oregon. Beautiful Brookings. Now, where's my weather records? Here's a date palm in Brookings. Hey, look at that one. There's Brookings right there. Look at how big those are. I actually gave that one a hug. I got a picture of me standing beside that palm tree. That palm tree is way bigger now. Like, it's way taller, but look at the size of it. It's just like a freaking monster. That's Brookings, Oregon. They grow the most massive phoenix down there. Barefoot in Brookings, if you time it right. So, yeah, barefooting in Brookings. Brookings, Oregon. Dang. Yeah, no, I have the weather, and it was the lowest temperature was 1972, and it was 18 degrees Fahrenheit. That was what the lowest temperature they hit in Brookings. That was their record low. There's the Scilly Isles right there. Scilly Isles. That's the Isle of Tresco right there. I mean, look at those date palms. Those things were planted eons ago, man. Long, long time ago. So that's not too bad for 49 degrees north latitude. Is it tropical and why didn't any palms evolve C4 capability? I don't know. I don't know why. I mean, palms used to be Palms used to be native here, but that was back, millions of years ago. But they ain't native here anymore. What we have now is just fossils of those palms. So let me just see if I have any. I had weather data on Brookings. Send you a video of it right now. Still looks a mess, but my neighbor's Google Earth 20 foot in 12 years. Wow. 20 foot. Where in the hell? I'm trying to find my weather records for Brookings because I have them. They were sent to me. So they're somewhere in all my mess. And I'd love to live in Brookings, man. It'd be freaking awesome. It'd be a good place. Imagine the garden you could grow in Brookings, Oregon. It'd be so cool. Yeah, 1955, a weatherman, he started calling it the Brookings effect. That's what he called it, the Brookings effect. Fried banana belt on the menu. That's pretty cool. So they call it the banana belt. James Palms. James in there too. Good to see you in there. Everybody, we got a bunch of people in there today. Man, these evening live streams seem to be better than the daytime ones, maybe because everybody's working. I was working today too. Abstract Tom's in there. 12:12. It is 10:13 p.m. here on the Gulf Islands. And the temperature, last time I looked, was 10 degrees. 10 degrees. It's mild out there. Because they are perennials and grow large eventually. Yes, Daniel. James, 1:13 in the morning there. Hokey diner. Yeah, you're 3 hours. You're 3 hours ahead of us. Yeah. Hopefully the temperatures are good there too. We had our 4-day cold blast and it's all done. I'm hoping winter's done, but can't be guaranteed that. Be nice if winter was done. But you know what? We still got to get through. January, February. March, I'm not too worried about. I mean, March can be kind of a crappy month here, but I can't sleep. You can't now. You're on the live stream. But, once we get into mid-February, then we're in the safe zone here. But January can get pretty cold. It can be a pretty cold month. So we got to watch it. I always have that in the back of my mind that cold weather can still... power just flickered. Our power might go out. So if I disappear, it means the power went out because I think it's starting to get windy out there and there is a wind warning. So like I say, if the live stream abruptly ends, it means our power went out because it just flickered. The power just flickered. So put this in here. I hope it doesn't do that. I hope it doesn't go out. Anyway, it's warm in here. Got a nice fire going. Put this in my little... There. That's all my palmy stuff from decades of collecting palmy stuff. Back here, it's 1 degree Celsius in Chicago. I'll tell you what it is here right now. Temperature 10.1. It went up 0.1 degree. It was 10 last time I looked. When was that? 40 minutes ago. Now it's 10.1. So I'm going to the Bahamas. Is in 4. Oh, there you go. See, that would be nice. That would be a good place to go, the Bahamas. One of the girls in our office just got back from the Bahamas. Yeah, that would be really nice. That's why you can't sleep. You're excited, you see. That'd be a good place to grow. Be a good place to grow too. I've been a fan of James Palms. Cool. There you go. He'll be in the Bahamas looking at more palms. I want to go back to Mexico. I want to go back to Hawaii one day, but I can't. They still got mandates. They got mandates there, so I can't go. 5+ in Toronto here right now. See, that's not bad. 5, not too bad at all. Hopefully it'll be mild when you get back. Yeah, you guys haven't had any cold weather yet. That is indeed a nice leather briefcase. That's an old leather briefcase, man. You know what? My cousins gave me this. I think it was my cousin. No, you know what? It's either my cousins or it was my ex-father-in-law gave me this briefcase. It's really old, man. And it's loaded up with palm stuff. That's all palm stuff. So, and it's got leather handles on it. That is like, God, it feels like it's 50 pounds of just palm crap in there. Maybe you should do a short term. Yeah, I could. I mean, I can't this winter though because I'm too busy. I started a new job, and then we're doing property management for a friend. She's in Sedona, Arizona for 6 months, so we look after her house when she's gone. And then our other friends are leaving. They're going to Cancun, Mexico for 3 weeks. So I got to go over there tomorrow, and he's going to show me what to do with all his stuff and look after the house. You're staying at a hotel beside the airport. Oh, that's cool. Well, that'll be handy. Perfect. Joe, have you met Plant Heroes Dan Hinckley, Sean Hogan? I know those names. I definitely know those names. But no, I don't think I've met them. I've met a lot of gardeners over the years, though. 270 here in Dallas, 279. That is hot. Hot, hot, hot. Well, you'll have fun in the Bahamas. I've never been to the Bahamas, but I've been all through the Caribbean. It's quite nice down there. Yeah, I'm ready for a tropical vacation again. I don't know when I'm going to take one. I just have to wait till things kind of cool down a bit. I don't know what's going on with the travel. I can't go to Maui. If you're not vaccinated, you can't go to Maui, and I'm not vaccinated, so I can't go to Maui, man. Wendy and I cannot go to Maui. There's restrictions. It's unbelievable. So that's why I'm not going back there. Dan Hinckley really introduced Chef Lara's. I have a chef. We have two Chef Lara's in our garden. We have two Chef Lara Taiwaniana. They look really awesome. One is getting quite big now, and the other one's growing good. I moved it from another spot. It was too dry, so it's doing better. So if I ever move, I'm going to take them with me. I've only been to Florida once, and I don't know if I ever know what I went to. I went to Florida in 1996. February 96, I was in Miami. And it was pretty cool. When I landed there, it was actually quite cool and rainy. It was in the 50s, in the mid 50s, but the next day it warmed right up. It was in the 70s. I'll be landing in the Bahamas 10:30 p.m. East Coast time, 10:30 a.m. Oh, nice. That's awesome. That's exciting. If insulated palm boxes only need 100 watts, have some backup power because if the washi Sable that died. Yeah, I don't know how. You'd have to have a generator. You'd have to have a generator to keep the power going. What else could you use for backup power? Can you imagine? Well, our power can go out quite a bit here, right? I don't think the power goes out very much for James's, though. I mean, that's the problem being out in these rural islands. It does go out a lot. Phone. Oh, somebody just can't stand those guys. Yeah. So you wouldn't if this was a really cold climate where I lived, it wouldn't be a good place to experiment with Washingtonia's boxing men because you could potentially lose them. Because I've had the power out here for 4 days out on this island. The longest I've seen it out was 4 days. When we had the hurricane force storm here in December 20th, 2018, some people had their power out for over 2 weeks. It was the worst windstorm I'd ever seen in my life. I'd never seen anything like it. So we were 4 days. And like I say, some people were out for 2 weeks. So could you imagine living in an area where, the temperatures were going to be, say you were in a deep freeze and it got down to minus 20 or something, and your power's out for 2 weeks. Man, that would be just absolutely nasty. So anyway, we heat our house with wood here, so it's not a problem. If I'll make some videos there. Yeah, cool. Definitely make some videos. Yeah, I don't know when I'm going on my next tropical vacation. It probably won't be anytime soon. Not anytime. I mean, I go every year, but since that pandemic thing started, I just haven't had a desire to really go anywhere. Last time the power went out 2 years ago in a hailstorm. Oh yeah, hail. You guys probably get wicked hailstorm. Hailstorms are very tiny here. We rarely ever get them, and they're tiny little hailstones, very, very tiny hailstones, but we do get them once in a blue moon, right? How do you always remember how many years ago you planted? I do. I got a mind like a steel. I do have a photogenic memory. It's crazy. I do have a photogenic memory for things that happened in the past. You know what I mean? And it's weird like that, but I can barely remember what I did yesterday. So I know when I look at a palm in my yard, I can tell you when I planted it. Yeah. You guys, I know we need a nice vacation. We haven't been since I call it the scamdemic, right? So yeah, and Wendy actually right now has no desire to travel anywhere. Like we used to get so psyched up to go to Maui every year, but we can't go there. We can't go on a cruise. We're looking at going on a cruise. If you're not vaccinated, you can't go on a cruise. I'm effing pissed. Actually, that's what I am. How do they? How you can get record daily card you pay? Let's see. How they are you in now so that we can get a record deal with the card you have to pay you to allow? What does that mean? Explain. Have had a hailstorm here for a long time. Haven't had a hailstorm. Yeah, we don't get them. We do need a nice vacation. I can't wait to go on a vacation one day. And Wendy keeps talking about selling this place. She says, Joe, we should sell our house, downsize, and move to Vancouver Island. And and get a smaller house. It's like, God, it'd be hard to leave this place, but we're really thinking on moving. We were going to do the Costa Rica thing, but that fell through because then the mandates came in and we couldn't leave the country. So we went through the whole process, 6-month process, had the notary public and just tons of paperwork and lots of stuff to do. Sold lots of stuff. I mean, I sold my record collection, all these things I didn't want to take with me, and we didn't end up going to Costa Rica. So now we think, okay, downsize and buy a smaller place on Vancouver Island near the ocean and southern Vancouver Island, and then just travel more, right? So, and not tied down to anything. Only thing we have is our little dog, right? But a really small yard, and I mean, loaded up with palm trees and stuff. Like now we have acreage here. We have a pretty good chunk of property here. And, but I would miss it, man. I mean, I've been here 30 years at this place and put a lot into it. Like a lot of work has gone into this garden and watching the palms grow. Like literally, there are thousands of palm trees on this property. It is no lie. There are thousands of palm trees all over this property, everywhere. The forest is full, the upper gardens are full, the nursery is full, and I would take lots with me. I do have a generator. We do actually have a generator. Wendy bought one last year. She paid big bucks for a good generator, but it's not going to generate the whole house. It's not going to power the whole house, but it'll keep the fridges going, which is most important in the freezers. How many square feet is your house? Aren't they all big on size? I think our house is like 2,000, something like that. It's like this one has 3 bathrooms. It's got 3 bedrooms plus a suite plus the accommodation in it down below. I need to go to sleep at the airport. Bus is coming to take us to the airport in just 2 hours. Oh, you're going to see. I need to go to sleep at the airport. The bus is coming in 2 hours. Right on. You know what? Well, have a good trip in the Bahamas. That'll be fun. Do you like Vancouver Island more than Salt Spring? Yeah. You know what? No, I like Salt Spring. I love it here, but there's more things on Vancouver Island. See, Salt Spring Island is very, very, how do I say, it's more remote because there's no, like, if you want to go to a Home Depot or anything like that, you got to go to Vancouver Island. We don't have that stuff here. Anyway, have a safe trip out there and have fun looking at all those palmy palms, tropical palms in the Bahamas. You can't go wrong with the Bahamas. Have a Bahama mama. It's going to be awesome. You're going to have fun down there in the tropics. So my house, you know what? 1383 is good. So that would do me fine. 1,383 square foot would be just fine for Wendy and I, just the two of us. So like I say, we got a full in-law suite, which is actually, it's an accommodation on one end of our house down there. And they have their own driveway. They have their own sun deck. They have their own garden. So we don't even have to see our B&B guests. She just sees them when she checks them in, makes some videos. Yeah, cool. We'll be staying tuned for those videos in the Bahamas. Yeah. So anyway, there's some really nice houses on Vancouver Island, and we can get a lot for this and pay less for something on Vancouver Island. And we'd have to landscape it, though. Have to plant lots of palm trees. If you're starting your garden from scratch, or what's the biggest thing you would change? Biggest thing I would change. There would be no marginal plants in it, so it'd be all hardier things. So nothing the only thing I'd probably bring with me, I'd dig out that is going to need some help in the bad winter is the tree fern, which I just protect the inner crown on it. But I don't think I'd have any conifers. It's like we have redwoods and stuff in our garden here, so I would have no conifers in our garden. So I don't think I'd have a big enough garden for a monkey tree. I think I'd just plant palms and other broadleaf evergreens. Yeah, James is going to have fun. Shaka wave. Have fun out there, man, on those beaches and in the neighborhood, and all the houses are just. Yeah, here it's not like that, man. Like, I mean, you don't see anybody around here. There's nothing across the street. There's nothing beside me. There's nothing behind us. The nearest neighbor here is on that side, and she's, I don't know, a few 100 feet away, something like that. But you don't see her place because there's trees. You don't see anything from here. You can walk around out in this garden naked and nobody would see you, man. It's very private here. And we're walking. This is actually a really desirable place because if you're going to move to Salt Spring Island, we're far enough from Ganges, but it's only still a 10-minute drive to Ganges, but we're still far enough away from the rat race of Ganges, which is our village. We're walking distance to the beach right across the street. There's a nice farm stand down the road, and there's nature trails all around us. And like I say, the beaches are really close. Even nice beaches, you just drive down the road and you're at another beach, right? So I'm on the very northern end of Salt Spring Island. I'll show you. Where's my map? I'll show you where I am on Salt Spring Island. Gotta have the map. The map. The map is so here's Salt Spring Island. That's the map of Salt Spring Island. I am right up there. See the top of the island? Right way up on the top of the point of the island. Right there. So you go across and there's water on that side and that side in very close proximity. So we're way up there on the north end. And Ganges is right here. So there's our village right here. You drive here, there's a big lake. Drive past St. Mary. We have lots of lakes here. And you go right up to here. And we're way up there on the north end of the island. That's where we are. So, yeah. We're on the northern tip of the island. So if you look at Salt Spring Island, we're up near Southey Point. If you look at a map of Salt Spring Island, it's called Southey Point. And it's a nice, quiet area. It's a desirable area, and it's a milder area of the island too. It is a nice, mild area up here. So yeah, I like it up here. Bringing the warm weather back. Yeah, here it's not bad. I'm liking it. But anyway, there'd be no conifers in the new garden. And I don't know if I plant. Wendy likes Japanese maples. I'm not much into those things. She loves Japanese maples, but I don't know if I'd put any into that. I think I just want palms, man. Lots of palms, lots of fatsias. I wouldn't plant any eucalyptus trees, I don't think. I don't think I'd go for any eucalyptus trees. No, Wendy loves maples. She loves Japanese maples, eh? She has some beautiful Japanese maples in the courtyard, like, you know, the little lace leaf ones, Acer palmatum dissectum. No. Oh, yeah, no, I'll take the CIDP in the pots. Anything in pots is going. Like, we have some nice ones in pots. Those I'll take. Yeah, and palms, yuccas, yuccas, definitely. I definitely dig out some of our yuccas. We have lots of them. And you know what? I definitely bring some cactus, and I'd do a cactus garden. I'd dig out a lot of our cactus, and I would bring that. What else would I dig out? I'd dig out the Chamaedorea radicalis. I would dig out the tree fern. I will dig out some aspidistra. I will take my scheffleras. I will take some of that stuff with us. Definitely taking it with us. I'm not leaving everything. But, you know, some of the stuff I can't take out. But all the big trackies stay. Everything in pots goes. They can have all the big trackies. But I would love to see a tour. Oh, we have so many yuccas, man. Lots of Yucca gloriosa recurvifolia. The biggest one we have is a Yucca gigantea. It planted in June 2007. And I got a big kind of plastic tarp over top. I make a crude shelter over it for the cold. So it's got PVC here, and a piece of wood across the top, and just a piece of plastic thrown over top of that. But, God, we must have 50 yuccas in our garden, at least 50 yuccas. And, you know, some of them have trunks on. The biggest one has about 6 feet of trunk, Yucca gloriosa. And we have lots of Yucca gloriosa. Spanish dagger, whatever. They're really sharp and upright like this. But yeah, I'll take some of those. I would make an arid garden, a Mediterranean garden. Yes, jungle garden. That'd be good too. To do that. See, if we get a place, it's only going to be like a half acre. It's going to be small. It's going to be really tiny. So right here we have 2 acres. So we have lots of land to play around with for gardening. At my house, all the plants are from the mid-70s. Wow. So they're very established. Cool. Mid-70s. Nice. I was just a boy in the mid-70s. 1974, I was 10. I was 10 years old, man. Yucca rostrata is the hardiest trunking yucca than T. fortuna. Yeah, and there's some nice ones up here. You know another nice hardy one too? Yucca elata. There are big, I'll tell you what, in Oroville, Washington, just south of Soyuz, there are some very, very old Yucca rostrata or Yucca elata. And the people that have them in their garden brought them up from Arizona and planted them in 1961. And they are still there. They're absolutely massive. They've been featured in HPI a couple times. And I first saw them when my friend took a picture of them for me. And he asked me what they were. And he says, what are these things? Because the people brought them back from Arizona and they didn't exactly know what they were. They just knew they were yuccas. Joe, I thought you said you were getting rid of Joe, I thought you said you were getting rid of your electric. Getting what? Rid of our electric. Electric what? A neighbor cut down 150 foot. Whoa, really? No way. Oh, that's sad. They're beautiful trees. No, we need electric. I'm not getting rid of our electric. We need electric, man. I wouldn't be able to do these live streams if I didn't have electric. I just don't use our electric heat. Your power. No. I wouldn't get rid of our power. We have a generator. I couldn't get rid of our power. How would I ever talk on my radios over there? I need power for my radios, man. Those take lots of power. That might be the odd, but I was 10 in 2016. Oh, you're just a young guy. You're actually younger than my daughter. My daughter was born in 94. My oldest son was born in 91. He's going to be 32 soon, February. And my youngest son was born in 2000. You're just a kid. 96. Jeez. I was just in Phoenix and went to Yucca Nursery. I could not believe the prices were affordable. Oh, see, I'd love that, man. I would love that. Go to a nursery like that and I love a big Yucca rostrata. I just built a berm garden where you really mound the soil up so high, like 5 feet up. Planted tons of, that's the way to do it. Good drainage, Tom. That's awesome. That's the way to make a good desert garden. You want drainage. See, a lot of these plants, these desert plants are super cold hardy, but they need the drainage. You know what? Root rot will kill them before the cold ever does. So, it's funny when people walk through our gardens, like, well, how can you grow those cactus outside? How do they survive here? It's like, doesn't the cold hurt them? I says, cold does not hurt them. They're a super cold hardy species of cactus you could never kill here. It's drainage. It's drainage they need. Super fast draining soil. That is the key, right? And they're growing in native soil, our cactus. It's very rocky soil, and they're absolutely thriving. But I would love to get a house with a bigger overhang on a southwest side of it or west side, and I can make a really nice cactus garden under that overhang. That's what I'd like to do. That'd be absolutely awesome. Have a really good cactus garden along one side of the house. And it's not going to get any winter rain on it. And there are some nice ones like that. You can see them here. So let's see what Wendy's doing. You're still watching. Yeah, I like you. She's so addicted to Grey's Anatomy. My wife loves Grey's Anatomy. Have you ever seen that show? What types of sables grow in BC? Sable minor, Sable cassiarum, Sable Birmingham, Sable brazoriensis, Sable palmetto, Sable cassiarum. Yeah, those are the ones there that I know of. Anyway, there's a Sable rosii. How is she watching with no TV? She watches it on computer. She watches it on her computer. She's got a computer in there and she watches it right on there. She gets Netflix. Yeah, but we don't have a TV. We threw our TV in the garbage dump. Broke. 52-inch big screen. It was Wendy's. Went into the garbage dump. Plains prickly pear is very cold hardy, and no one in my neighborhood believe me. It's so cold hardy. You'll go right out in the open. I mean, where you live, I don't know. Maybe there is even native in Illinois. In parts of Illinois, maybe they have native cactus somewhere. If you want to have your mind blown, go to Point Defiant Zoo in Tacoma. Really? See, I'd love that. And I've been to Tacoma lots of times. Cool. We had friends who used to live in Bremerton. So, yeah, no, I know where Tacoma is. How cold hardy is prickly pear? It depends on the species of prickly pear. Some prickly pear is probably hardy to minus 30 below zero, right? 30 below zero, maybe even cold hardier. It's crazy to think that a cactus full of water can frickin' survive that. There is native cactus. There you go, eastern prickly pear. Would an Opuntia Santa Rita work for you? Are they beautiful? I don't know how cold hardy it is, Santa Rita. We have a lot of different Opuntias in our garden, but I'm not too sure of that one. I've never heard of it. And yet I have to know the cold hardiness. I mean, if it's hardy down to 15 degrees Fahrenheit, then it'll work here. I say we're in the safe zone. Any plant that's hardy to 15 degrees Fahrenheit, it'll work here. You look at Choicea ternata, it's all over the place here. That's what mine is. Yeah, 15 degrees Fahrenheit. So it would probably work here then. Yeah, as long as it's in well-draining soil, for sure. I remember a garden one time I went into, and they had a Washingtonia outside for years, and they had these big cactus growing under the overhang, fishhook barrel cactus. A prickly pear gets the yellow flowers. Yeah, we have some of those ones too, yellow flowers. Cholla cactus can survive minus. Yeah, well, there's one growing in a guy's garden here. It's absolutely huge at Cholla. It gets kind of magenta flowers on it. I have videos of it here. It's huge. He's got to cut it back. It grows to like 7 feet tall. It is massive. And and then there's other ones. Yeah, like Mike has one with yellow flowers. And we have some with yellow. We have some with red. We have some with pink flowers. That's it. Purple. Yeah, that's cool. That sounds like a nice one, Cal. Is that the 30 below one I have? You probably do. You probably have that really hardy one. Yeah. And you're not going to kill them, even your worst winters. A squirrel got punctured by my cactus. No way. A squirrel? Did it kill it? What? You're kidding. I see frogs in there sometimes. We get these tree frogs. I cannot believe it. There's actually tree frogs, and I've seen them in the cactus. Like, what are you doing in the cactus patch? Sitting on a freaking prickly pear pad in between the spines. These little green tree frogs. We have lots of tree frogs here. Silly little frog. So sometimes I try to take them out of there because I don't want them to get stabbed, right? From the Opuntia. This has been a long live stream. I wasn't planning going for 3 hours. What do you think, guys? I pull the plug soon. Poor little squirrel. Opuntia humifusa is actually native to Connecticut and southern Ontario. Grows in all. Yeah, we have that one here too. Eastern, not Arizona. Tough one, Daniel. That's a tough, hardy cactus. I love cactus. I think it's a super awesome plant to have in your garden. And people do, ask questions about it when they come to your garden and they see cactus growing. They're like, "What the F? How does that grow outside here?" Because they have no idea. Even though they're keen gardeners, they've not branched out like us exotic plant gardeners, right? So a lot of gardeners have tunnel vision, and they don't see beyond Mugo pines and junipers and just the run-of-the-mill plants. Is where this group of people here, they like to grow unusual plants that turn heads and people ask questions about. So if you drove past a garden and the guy's got a bunch of maple trees out front, who gives a rat's what? Anybody can grow maple trees. But if you drove through the same neighborhood and you saw a front garden full of palm trees and exotic plants, you're most likely going to stop your car and you're going to look, maybe take some pictures. Maybe you want to talk to that guy and find out, how'd you do that? Especially if you were a gardener that was just into regular run-of-the-mill plants, right? I don't understand people who like gardening with the usual. Same with me. I'm the same. Roses and boring stuff like that. I've never gardened that way. Honestly, the only way I have ever gardened is with palm trees and exotic plants, So when I go past, when I go to someone's garden and they show me their garden, and I don't want to be mean about it, and they just have roses and they have junipers and they have a plum tree, like an ornamental plum, and they got some of this and that everybody else had to think, yeah, that's nice, but it doesn't really interest me. And I don't want to be mean to them, but it doesn't interest me. I'm thinking, how effing boring is this, man? Put some palm trees in here. Enjoyed the live stream. Hope talk. Yeah, take care, Dustin. Have a good one, buddy. Thanks for joining in there. I'm gonna pull the plug real soon too. I'll go for a few more minutes, but so and that's what I do when I drive around neighborhoods in Vancouver or Victoria and Vancouver Island. It's the palm trees that stand out. Like, so the other day we were looking at houses in Cowichan Bay, and you see my video here, and I go around the corner and there's like 3 25-foot palm trees in front of the house. It's like, I got to take a video of that. If there were maple trees, I really don't care. There are a lot of rhodie. I try in the gardens too. I know a lot of people love rhodos. Rhodos. You know what I mean? My neighbor has cat would never survive winter, but it didn't question it was fake. No way. My neighbor thought cactus would never survive, but did, and then she questions it was fake. That's funny. It's so funny. So I've had lots of garden tours here over the years, and I will never forget this one couple came into our garden and they're just like, wow, this is like mine. That's what they thought. This is mind blowing. Your garden is unbelievable. All the palm trees and all these exotic plants you have. It's like a breath of fresh air because every garden we visited before you, it was like rhodos, rhodos, rhodos. Everybody's got rhodos and more rhodos because a lot of people here grow rhodos. We have some rhodos, but we also have lots of other interesting things that maybe most people don't think of growing here. So it gives something people to talk about. Anyway, nice chatting with y'all. I'm going to hit the hey soon too, Paul. Take care, buddy. Thanks for joining in. Hit your notification bell and you'll know when I'm doing the next live stream. I'll try to do one this weekend. I'm going to do one tomorrow on Jungle Joe C, my other YouTube channel, because I do the video gates on my other YouTube channel. So I'll do that tomorrow when I'm talking on my radios, and then I'll do another one here maybe the next day. And my neighbor asked me advice on palms. I have some. Cool. See, it's good to spread the word. Good to spread the palmy word around, right? That's what you got to do. Also survived the freeze here. Jim Osium. Not sure about that one. Can't even really pronounce it. I see Jim in there. I can pronounce Jim. Gymnocalcium. Gymnocalcium. Calcium. Sounds like a cool plant, whatever it is. But yeah, grow the odd, not the run-of-the-mill stuff. Meanwhile, rhodos are very uncommon. You're in Dallas. Yeah, they're just like, I'll tell you what. I like rhodos, but the ones I like the best are Sinogrande and Calophytum or Rex. They got the big, giant, tropical leaves on them. Those are the ones I like. And they grow here on our island too. Can't be cacti supposed to be. Wow, zone 10. Cool. That's awesome. Yeah, if I lived in a little bit milder growing zone, I'd be trying lots more stuff, that's for sure. JL has lots of homework to do, dozens of videos to back up these. Oh, I can't wait. Daniel, I'm looking forward to his videos. JL, so we're all waiting for JL to post some videos so we can hit his channel. And he's got to get an avatar too. He's got to get a little picture in there of his 40-foot palm trees, right? JL, whatever that stands for. We're going to be waiting for JL's videos. Maybe he's the same guy that messaged me and told me that they grow better palm trees out there than they do here on the Pacific Northwest. We're just going to have to see about that, right? So there you go. Yes, Sinogrande want nice rhodos. Very nice rhodos. Anyway, guys, I should roll too. It's getting late. And you know what? Tomorrow I got to get up pretty early, and then I got to head out and I got to dig out some bamboo. The 40-foot Robusta Nova Scotia. We're waiting for it. We're going to wait for the video, right, Cal? The 40-foot Robusta in Nova Scotia. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. When I see his video of his 40-foot Robusta, watch him post a 40-foot Robusta growing in California, right? We'll know for sure. All right. Evergreen gardens are shown to be more environmentally friendly. Yes, I like evergreen ones. Nighty-night, Toby. Take care in the Lone Star State. I talk to Texas a lot on my radios. I talk to Texas a hell of a lot. It's great, man. Got to love the Lone Star State. That's a good state to be in. All right. Take care, man. I'm going to roll. I'm going to pull the plug here. And you guys have a good night. Thanks for joining the live stream. Like I said, I wasn't planning on going for 3. I thought I was just going to go for like maybe an hour max. But, once we all get in there, we start yapping about palm trees. This was a good live stream. You guys made it a very good live stream. All right. Take care, you guys. And in England, you guys are, you're probably like 8 in the morning or something. Bunch of hobby radios, your antennas everywhere. Really? Cool. Well, yeah, you see my stuff, right? This is my radio room. This is my man cave. So, yeah, no shortage of radios here. Another radio there. There's radios everywhere, man. And I got more out in the shed, too. 6:45 a.m. Okay, there you go. The backyard nature. See you later, Tom. And, yeah. So, tomorrow, yeah, like I say, I'll be live streaming. I'll be doing the video gates on that. And I know Cal knows that channel. So, you guys take care. And we will see you all next live stream from the Gulf Islands. Cheers to you. I'm hoping one day we can break away and become part of Texas. Have a tall antenna. I have 4 antennas up. I don't recall seeing one in your videos. Yeah, no, we have I have a Sigma Venom antenna. Actually, I bought from England. And then I got an Antron 99, an IMAX 2000, and a Tram 300 up. So we have 4 antennas up. Yeah, 4 antennas. They're about 20 feet. Each antenna, one of them, the biggest one might be 20 foot in length, 21 feet in length, something like that. So, yeah, so there you go. You can see the coax comes through the window just in the corner there, and it feeds some of these lots of radios. Anyway, you can see the videos on the other channels. You can see what I'm talking about. And I actually do have videos of the antennas too. I did shoot a video of the antennas. So, but if I move, I'll put up a different antenna. I want to put up another beam antenna. The beam antenna is a directional antenna. It's got a motor on it. And then I got the control box in here, north, south, east, west, and everywhere in between. And then you can turn the antenna to where you want to talk. And it just focuses your power into that one direction. So say I wanted to talk to Toby, he's in Texas, you give me your coordinates, okay? And then I just turn the little thing inside here and the rotor turns the beam antenna up wherever it is on a tower, and then it faces it right towards you. So all my signal strength is faced right towards Toby in Texas. So anything on the sides kind of getting blocked out, any noisy junk, and all the power is going directly towards Toby's antenna, right? So it gets out way better. Yeah, that's what's called a beam antenna. And there's all different types of beam antennas, right? It's pretty amazing. All right, guys, you guys take care, and I will see you all next time. And hopefully this weekend we'll do another one. Cheers to you. Time to close off the live stream. Happy palm planting. Bye for now. I'm out of here.